Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is David Palmer, the Leo King, and Craig Skidmore here at highvibe.tv for Deep Love Tarot, your weekly love reading for the week of April 6th through the 12th of 2020. We are exclusive here on highvibe.tv, which, of course, we have awesome apps, Apple TV, Roku, iOS, Android, Amazon Fire, and of course you can watch all the amazing content, my daily video horoscopes and tarot, and my weekly sun sign horoscopes, and so much more, weekly intuitive, weekly tarot. There's so much on there. And of course we have so many awesome talent on there as well. And that's what keeps this show on YouTube out there for free for people. And of course, my love school is still going down. So if you want to understand the kind of partnership that works for you and understand other people's partnership roles as far as what's good for them and understanding the astrology from the traditional standpoint and all of my secrets, it's a 10-week course, not 8. I know it says 8. I haven't changed it, but it's 10. We are on week 7 this week. So this is going to be our 7th week. And so there's already 6 recordings you can watch of 6 different weeks. We're at over 20 some hours of content already. And if you want to be live for the class every week, just join at any time and you can watch the recordings or watch the recording even if you can't make the live on Wednesday nights at 4 p.m. Go to highvibe.tv or go to theleoking.com. And of course, that school is on highvibe.tv if you click school, and that's where you'll log in and stuff. But these are fast links to just get you instant to there. This is a big week. Of course, it's a full moon week in Libra. We got Venus going into shadow. That's a big deal because we got a Venus retrograde coming, and that brings up a lot of intense karmic love stories and so forth, especially the full moon in Libra this week. And this is a big week for this channel. This is the 8th year anniversary, April 10th, 2012. I started doing a daily video horoscope, and it turned into this. So it's a big week. Lots going on. What's going on, Craig?
What's going on, Mr. Palmer? What's going on, all you funky house cats and you dirty, dirty dogs out there in the world?
Dirty, dirty dogs.
You dirty, dirty dogs and you funky house cats. Thank you for coming and hanging with us this evening or tomorrow, or whatever day it is that you are watching. Thank you for joining. Let's get funky.
It's full moon in Libra. Woo! I'm like, woo! You know, with this sun in Aries, wow. Man.
Wow.
That's all I gotta say. I mean, like, whoa, this thing's gonna be, I think people aren't ready yet. And I'm just gonna give people a little bit of just like a 1-minute little teaser here that you've already lived through. April of 2012. You might have to go back in your old Facebooks, and those that aren't on Facebook that were Instagrammers, you might have to look at that first picture on Instagram you posted. But go back in time and start to remember where you were at with relationships. Major changes and shifts happened at that point. Whatever happened is going to be a lot of the flip. So if you, this might sound crazy, but if you got in a relationship, this might be the breakup moment. If you got in a breakup, this might be the coming into a relationship moment. It's pretty crazy. I mean, I go much deeper into it, of course. We also are in the next like week and a half to maybe 2 weeks at the latest going to do a special video where we're going to cover what's next. We did a Survival 2020 video that lots of people started posting about all the predictions I made about this moment in time. And it was a lot about love too. But now it's about what's next. Where do we go next? That's what I keep getting asked all the time. Craig gets asked that all the time too.
I do.
But we're going to do a special live stream on the main stage here at High Vibe TV. And I'm going to give everything I got. But I got to do that thing behind the safety of High Vibe. That ain't something I can do on YT. You know what I mean? Because the stuff I'm about to bring you all, which I did bring out in that pre-2020 survival video, let's just say that stuff did come true. And that stuff is pretty intense. So, but if you never watched the show before, this is an awesome show because what we're going to do today is we're going to find out your love life for this week. We're going to use the astrology and then go into the tarot. So we do it by doing the collective, and then we use the High Vibe Red Cup. And I look at yours, pick out your zodiac signs randomly. And I'm going to give you the astrology, then we're going to do the tarot. And that's how it works. If we reach 1,000 people live, then we do a love reading for everybody that is watching live, where you pick one person and I do a reading for the 1,000 people. When we reach 2,000 people, we do a sexy time reading.
Sexy.
I love when he throws in those little sexy time. Now we almost reached 3,000, and I don't know where 3,000's at yet. We don't know what that one's going to be like. So if you all want to make this one happen tonight with 3,000 people live, start spreading this video out, especially because I'm going to be honest with you all. And you know what? Forget the whole 3000 thing. When it comes to relationships, this full moon in Libra with Venus coming into shadow, this is setting the tone of the relationship stuff that is going to be the most extreme you've ever felt in your life, especially if you've been following me for long enough and you know I talked about the Saturn-Pluto conjunction of 82 and 83 and how that cycle just ended with the one on January 12th in Capricorn. And now we're finally seeing a full moon in Libra. Now we're finally seeing Venus come into shadow after that Saturn-Pluto of January 12th. This is where all the relationship game changes for the new story, the new weird energy that we've all been hoping for and looking for. And this is it. And you've got to, if you want, I'm not going to give it all away, but if you're on highvibe.tv, all your sun sign horoscopes, I tell you this week, like how it's going to go down for you. And it's a lot. So
It's a whole lot.
It's a whole lot.
Whole lot going on.
So let's go into this collective reading, shall we?
Let's do it.
Astrologically speaking, of course, I just told you, it's a full moon in Libra this week, dealing with relationships in opposition to the sun in Aries, where Chiron is. Now, this full moon is in minor squares to Jupiter and Pluto. So that's adding kind of this explosive, transformational, expanding experience. But it's almost like relationships have to be aligned with the kind of person that you are, the identity that you want in your life, and where you feel you want to go with your long-term journey now. No longer can you just be in a relationship and try and make it work from the old traditional way of like, well, it doesn't matter if, you know, I'm a car salesman and they're a elevator repairman. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like there's this whole like, there's got to be some sort of identity and mission that makes sense together. Now, I don't know if you remember this, Craig, but last year we did a special video on High Vibe called The Turning Point of Relationships, and it was when there was 2 full moons in Libra. Do you remember that this time last year?
Yes, sir, I do. I was there.
There is not 2 full moons in Libra this year. So there's only 1. Last year, you had to kind of figure it out double time, okay? This is like where it's like you have to figure it out literally now because there is no more full moons in Libra this year. Just this one. And we have Venus that is going shadow at 5 degrees of Gemini on Thursday. Now, what does shadow mean? Well, the shadow is Venus will retrograde back after when it retrogrades on May 13th at 21 degrees of Gemini. It will retrograde back to 5 degrees in the late parts of June where it'll come direct at 5 degrees. So Venus is going to hit 5 degrees this week. That means it enters shadows. It's a lot like a Mercury retrograde, but for Venus. Dealing with relationship stuff. So you want to like figure it out, make plans, figure out what's going on, especially in Gemini, you have to have communication. And there's that weird part with Gemini too, where it's like, got to feel twinsy. It's got to feel like really connected. You got to have communication. And there is something to say at this moment right now, especially with where we're at in the world and stuff, where it's like, you know, the more and more all this stuff keeps going on, you better get it figured out. And you know what? There is this Jupiter and Pluto connected to so many things where, you know, this new world we live in, you do have to take some sort of like, I'm just going to say it, it's kind of like a risk. You have to take like a big choice and see where it's going to pan out when it comes to relationships. You don't have many options in life anymore with Jupiter and Pluto that just conjuncted this weekend in Capricorn, meaning that we're not in a Sag world anymore. That was the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction in Sag in 2007, where it was just as many options as you wanted. Oh, I can just travel the world whenever I want. Like, I'm sorry, that world's over for a long time. And I know a lot of people are freaking out for me saying that, but I'm just being honest with you all from being an astrologer. So you better start thinking with Venus and Gemini and a North Node coming into Gemini on May 5th about the small confines of the world that you're going to be living in and who that should be with, instead of thinking, oh, it'll all open and it'll all have as many options as I want. Do you really think that? Take a better look. Let's see what the cards have to say for this week. First card that we got is the Sun card reversed. So you know what? This is us pulling out, I think, of anybody that we might be lingering on to, or anything that in a relationship, if it's not feeling like it's totally the most, you know, charismatic and in your childlike space and in your true soul space, you got to pull out. And if you're in a very unhappy place right now about relationships, or you feel very alone, it's because you're not knowing how to step into the path of your own soul and into the moment of learning how to be creative and fun. Now, the reason why we pulled that card, it's going to be interesting. Let's see. The Queen of Pentacles reversed. You know what? It is saying that we're not feeling satisfied with the physical attributes of our life, maybe self-worth issues. Maybe we're having self-worth issues of not having what we want in our life love-wise, so it's creating us to not be in that place. We got to change that. Our challenge card that we got is the solar eclipse card of revolution. Wow. It's like people are afraid to make the biggest change of their whole life. And the solar eclipse, whenever it comes in life, it always is a moment that is changing the complete chapter, changing the complete story. So there's fears around that. Why is there so many fears around that right now? Don't be afraid of revolution in your life. Don't be afraid of bringing the sun and the moon together in a major destined moment to change your whole entire love story, to step fully into it. And it's going to be kind of like a blackout of an old and a bright out into a new. Our overall this week we got is relief. Look at all the relief we're going to get. We're going to get massive relief if we just finally step into the energy of, you know what, making a big change, stepping into our true sun. And you know what, having to like create the life. You know, part of the issue with the Queen of Pentacles reverse, with the Sun card reverse, is saying that you're not willing to take it on. You're not willing to take it on. You're not willing to bring light to it at all. It's almost like you're afraid or creating some sort of excuse. And the reason why that we did pull that relief card is because the Hermit reversed. You know, we all want to get out of the woods. I think that we all are over these stories. I think that we all hate feeling like grandma and grandpas when we're all not, maybe. Some of you might be. But there's even those grandma and grandpas out there that are like, I want to get back out in my car and go to Walmart. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? Now, we always pull a card. What is the spiritual advice to help us get through this revolution, this solar eclipse? Look at this. 2 of Wands reversed. That means that the fear that's happening about making a big revolution or change in your life about love is due to the fact that the world and the way that you see it and you want it has to end. That you have to now realize that it's not perfect and that you got to be willing to go for the world that you really want in your hands by making a big revolution. And you're going to have to let go of the way that you've been comfortable in your heart or that you've always pursued things in the way. And you got to get rid of excuses. The Astro dice have to say, boom, we got Pluto here in Sag in the 6th house. You know, it's interesting. This is definitely saying that in order for us to expand our life, we have to change our reality and we have to be willing to, with Pluto, go all in. Or all out. Like you have to say, I want this reality and this is going to explode into amazingness, and you got to believe in it and you got to experience it. Remember that Sag is about experience. It's not about, you know, knowing until you go through the experience. So this is about, you're only going to know the reality experience unless you actually go and experience it. But with Pluto there's fears. It's like a fear of the experience. It's like almost trying to wait, you know, until reality is exactly the way I want to experience it. Reality will never be exactly the way that you want it to be exactly when you're going to experience. Look at everything. Just today in LA. In LA, they told us, guess what? Do not go to a grocery store for 1 week. Don't go to the pharmacy. Try and have them deliver pharmacy to you in the mail. Go look it up. That's what the mayor just straight up said today. What do you have to say about all that, Craig?
I'd have to say that, yeah, these are scary times, and it is a self-limiting doubt that we are holding ourselves back. It is time that we process what we're going through. It's time that we process all the situations that we've been building up inside to get us to where we are right now and assess that if we're going to make that change or not. It is the time right now where we have literally nothing but time to assess the situation that we are in and the people that we are with and the foundations that we want to continue to grow off of after we get out of this and begin to move forward. But you can't be scared for that change. You cannot be scared for that change because it is going to be beneficial to you and your health, your love, and everybody around you. But you just got to take that step and actually push forward and make it happen.
Boom.
That's what I've got for this.
Said
collective.
like a true fucking Scorpio.
Can't play scared, baby. Can't play scared.
No, you can't. Because you know what? I mean, I know it's hard to hear, but you think it's just going to just blip normal?
No.
I talked to a banker today about it. Not going to be normal. I talked to plenty of other businesses about it. Not going to be normal. Talked to plenty of economists about it. You know how long it's going to take? Just even like think about cars. Right now, no cars are shipping from factories or closed or anything. And these dealers have their old cars. And then let's say this thing goes long and then they have to ship cars and everything. They're not going to have certain ones that you want in stock. And it's going to take a year of all the trucks just to get back and then get them all to dealers. Think about why are they asking us in LA to stop going to grocery stores. Maybe there is issues because a lot of food that comes from the Midwest has to go on all the trucks, and there's not as many truckers. The truckers are all doing 16-hour shifts right now, and they're not doing trucker school anymore. I don't know if you remember in Top Gun when Goose and Maverick get in trouble, and then Goose is like, "You got that number for that trucker school, dude?" You know, and they get in trouble. Well, trucker school's closed right now. So these poor truckers are having to go long hours. And I'm telling you all, folks, like, you really think that when it comes to love that you're just going to wait and then you're just going to go sit there and just be, you know, and then what happens if it goes longer and deeper, and then you're just gonna just be wasting your heart away, like just like staring at a screen?
Nope.
For real? Like,
got no time for that.
You know? Oh, maybe you can get the new iPad delivered from China and it'll look real good on FaceTime, or, you know, watching your whatever that you watch to get off. Like, really? That's gonna be your reality? Better start thinking. That's all I gotta say.
Don't press pause on your heart.
Now, it's April 10th, so I have a clip to show everybody because it is the 8th year anniversary of this. And we're going to roll that tape real quick. It's about 45 minutes, just to some of my old horoscopes and some of the proof that when it comes to people saying, "Oh, did you just sell out on tarot?" It's more like, did you sell out on tarot? Because I was doing that shit at the very beginning of this last decade. Let's roll the tape. Welcome to your inclusive astrology horoscope for Tuesday, April 10th, 2012. I'm your astrologer, David Palmer, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Tuesday brings us Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. Now, Pluto, the planet of transformation and really great change, is going retrograde in Capricorn. Now, retrograde is when a planet really gives us a review process in our life and goes internal. And welcome to your inspirational astrology horoscope for Wednesday, May 16th, 2012. I'm your astrologer, David Palmer, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. What's cracking? I'm with Bambi here. Hope everybody is going to have a wonderful Wednesday. I want to talk about the Pluto and Uranus square. We also, by the way, had Venus go retrograde yesterday in Gemini, which is a big change in energy. I'm sure you felt that change. But I want to talk about the Pluto and Uranus square. I've been hearing from clients, I've been hearing and reading all over. Some people aren't feeling the big fortune of Jupiter that we just had with the Sun conjunction, and we've been having a lot of good fortune in astrological terms with a couple grand trines, a 6-point star. We have a huge square that has formed, and has formed for quite a while, but we are talking about within only 1.5 degrees, almost 2 degrees, with Pluto and Uranus. Hi there, I'm astrologer David Palmer, and I want to have a quick discussion about this solar eclipse happening on Sunday, May 20th, and why this is connected to the Palladians, and why this is such a rare and faded eclipse that is the initiation of a big part of 2012. Welcome to your inspirational astrology horoscope for Thursday, March 21st, 2013. I am astrologer David Palmer, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Well, I am out in the middle of nowhere. I literally went to some street that I'm not allowed to go to. It was like a closed road because a redwood tree had like blocked the road, and I totally drove through it. And I ended up like straight up like in the middle of the redwood forest. Here, I'll just show you guys. I mean, we are like in the deep. It's just me out here. It's pretty cool. I mean, look at this road. It goes down nowhere. I mean, these trees go all the way up. Anyway, let's get down to the horoscope. Well, I still got some light. I want to get out of here before it gets dark. All right, first off, wow. We have really shifted into Aries, and now here we got Venus. Venus comes into Aries today, and this is really us feeling the power. But a little about this Venus and Aries too. This is Always a very powerful time for Venus. I just saw this beach and I had to show you guys. I got a sunset here that's ridiculous. I don't even know what beach this is, but I mean, look at this place. It's pretty ridiculous. Wow. Place is pretty cool. But Venus and Aries, beautiful placement for Aries. I always call it the blow-up doll in the zodiac. True beans. Anytime you see somebody with Venus and Aries, you know you're gonna get a party. You know you're gonna get some hotness too. Very passionate time for relationships, but they gotta stay stimulated, they gotta stay hot, you gotta keep the candle lit, you gotta keep the fire burning. You know, so now when it comes to partnerships, when it comes to our value systems, we gotta find what ignites us right now, what makes us feel heroic, which makes us feel strong, which learn from your past mistakes. This is where we face our past mistakes head first right now, and we understand why the past has brought us back to this place of how we can, you know, step forward on this energy and get out of it. You know, Mars in Pisces is ready to leave the past behind. But we have to face the past head first, and you can't let your beliefs feel like, oh yeah, I did that in the past, I won't do it again, you know, I believe because I believe. No, you gotta go face it, you gotta go see why and understand to make the belief. Don't let your beliefs, you know, oh, there's some seals right here, guys. They came to hang out. Let's see. We're going with the flow, right? Yeah, baby. Now this is going with the flow. They came to say hi. They've been hearing about the horoscopes. What's up, guys? Oh, they're so cute. So the seals came out to say what up to us, guys. And you know, they came to say, don't let your beliefs get in between you. Don't let your beliefs think they know everything right now, because they don't. They don't know the direction that Spirit's wanting us to go. Our feelings, our intuition know that. Our spiritual lessons and our spiritual values, how we feel good from Spirit, especially now that we're waking up in our life. We are waking up to the new place. We are waking up to the new starts. We are waking up emotionally. We are leaving the past behind, big time, because the moon has opposed Pluto. Especially today, it's opposing Pluto. It's been squaring this Mars-Uranus energy. So there's this really deep emotional energy to really tap forward. How are you feeling in your life? How do you feel about your new starts? How do you feel about the concrete of this structure you need to change in your life? Are you living in your pure energy? I'm gonna be real. Coming out here and doing a horoscope on Mount Shasta is pure. You know, it's following and putting my spiritual self, and I put my light spreading first. I put it beyond what I'm gonna eat today. I put it beyond what time I'm getting to my next destination. I put it all of this before. I put this before everything. I put it before a football game. I put it before everything in my life, to spread light, to spread my truth, to spread realness, to spread my core, to spread channeling higher vibrations on this planet. And as I'm sitting at a high vibrational Palladian spot, I ask you, are you a Malibu light of conduit change, or is your light burnt out? And are you caught up in a bunch of bullshit? Are you eating bullshit? Are you not interacting with nature? Are you not interacting with this world? Are you not interacting with your truth? Are you not on the go? Are you not journeying? Are you not connecting with who you really are? That's pretty raw. I'm sorry, but it's what this time is about. I feel that are coming through relationships. This can be.
Those were the days. That video is actually like 41 minutes long. I ain't gonna put you guys through that, but you can watch it on my YouTube. Just type in the Leo King anniversary. I think it was my 4-year anniversary 4 years ago. And that goes through kind of the journey and what brought it to then at 4 years ago in Hollywood. I haven't even done one for where it's at, but I just want to say from the deepest part of my heart, over 8 years, thank you. Been a long time. And people follow me when I was broke with a laptop, Where like, don't get all freaking heart-faced on me, dog. With that,
lovey-dovey on you.
It's
a touching moment.
It always is. April 10th is like my day, It's like bigger than my birthday, to be honest with you. Because as I said there at the end in Shasta, that I really have put everything in my life second to this the whole time. And except when I was sick that 1 week, and it was in February 8th, which I probably had CV, to be real with you, that I couldn't even do it, like it was impossible. So, I just want to let everybody know thank you, because it's been the whole thing that changed my life. Being a reality TV star and thinking that was everything, and doing multiple reality shows and all that, and thinking that was going to be the direction. And I got humbled my ass hard. That doesn't give you shit. And I had to build this from nothing and from scratch. And it's given me more than I could ever have dreamed of. And we're right now here live with you during these times. So
live and direct.
And everybody along the way, there's too many people to thank. Of course, Craig. I have to thank Craig, because it was funny just yesterday, Craig, and I didn't post it. It was 10 years ago. You were sitting on my balcony taking a picture of me.
Trippy.
But there's a lot of people, and One Feather, who just died the other day. I know a lot of you all watched him and I do astrology tarot shows every week. How actually Craig and I are doing this show right now. And that was 2013 and 2014, and he just passed away. And I just want to hold him in a high light and let everybody know that he really cared about people a lot. And he really was a very wise man who had so much magic behind him. And he truly cared about people very deeply. And he was always such a joy to be around in person. He was a joy to be around always on the video. And so he just passed away. And that was actually really hard for me this weekend on Saturday, when it all went down Friday night into Saturday. And it was very weird, because I met Chris with One Feather through Soul Garden, which is with Christopher Witecki, my main and original mentor. And it was funny because Friday night, Chris Witecki and I talked for like 3 hours. And that was around the time when One Feather, we didn't know at the time, was going into the hospital and going through the stuff that he went through. And then that morning we both found out, so it's a lot of people I have to thank, because I have to thank Soul Garden first, and everybody connected to Soul Garden. And I have to thank there's just so many people that have been on this journey to get it all here. And there's too many to name, but you know who you are. And the number one person to thank is you who watch. And I know that there's those that have been there through the whole 8 years of every day. And I thank you. And that's what High Vibe is. I know in 2015, people might have gotten weird that I took the daily off and put it to a paywall, but that's the way to make the content better and to make the horoscopes better. But giving shows like this out for free means that we're always there for you, for those that can't be on the app. But, allowing also astrologers to start to own their worth and their value for their creative work that they do, and the deep work that it is to do this work every day. So I thank all of you who have been in support, no matter what side of the fence you've been on with that. So anyway, you'd think I'd be a lot more woo about it, but 8 years is a long time, and I would have never dreamed in my wildest dreams it would have turned into this. I mean, I did dream it, and it did happen, and it's still going on, but it's been a lot. So
I'd love to see in the chat how many people have been following you since when. Someone said that they've been a subscriber since 2014 in the chat.
2012?
Well, someone just said they've been a subscriber since 2014.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people found me in 2014 when I was doing the lake videos in 2013 to 2014. I moved it to green screen in my Hollywood apartment, which I turned my 1-bedroom apartment into a studio with a green screen. So when I used to have chicks come on a date, to my house, they'd be like, "Where's your dinner table?" Like, I was like, "Oh no, that's a green screen wall." I'm like, "That's a camera," and I do a daily video horoscope on YouTube, you know, and I do readings, and that's how I make my living. They almost didn't believe me, and you have to remember it was at a time when people used to hate on astrologers hard, and people used to make fun of astrology more than say, "Hey, what's your sun sign? What's your rising?" I was doing this shit when I was getting made fun of every day. And if you can tell from the energy that I brought when I was young, I was just, it just came from purely like, I'm just going to own this. And I was a very shy, very vulnerable, very sensitive young man who knew I was holding something that I knew the world would get into later on, but had to fight through a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety and a lot of pain for the being made fun of constantly about it and being told I was a, crazy person. So as you see me now, I'm getting older and
old and wise,
gotten thicker skinned but also a lot more confidence in what I do and how I do it. And also remember that no matter what, I might come off as wild or intense sometimes or anything, that those videos you can always remind you is that the man that did those is in me every day, and everything else that you see is ways to get more people to understand this art, because it's a wide collective. It's a world of entertainment, but know that it's shielded in that form to protect the truth that is delivered through it all, but filtered in different ways in many different forms. But it always is that truth that's at the bottom. So thank you.
The truth.
I think we're at we're at 1.4 thousand. So I guess we're gonna go straight into this 1,000 love reading. So if you've never done this one before, when we do this 1,000 love reading, when 1,000 people are live here for the show, I want you to envision one person right now. And I always say you have to be talking to this person, DMing them, texting them, something. There's got to be some flirting going on. Or if this is a partner of yours, or maybe you're dating multiple people, whatever it might be, pick one. And I'm going to pick the cards for you right now and help you determine where this is going, what's going on, and let's see what happens.
Do you have someone in your mind over there?
Me?
You got someone over there?
I do.
Okay, me too.
All right. You all have it in your mind. And I always say you can't cheat and then be like, oh, well, that might resonate more with this person. No. This one person, and that's it. First card that we got is the 9 of Pentacles reversed. So either you or this person or together are trying to understand how to make something beautiful be formed, but it's really going to take the courage of just owning the value of yourself inside. And does that other person value themselves inside, whether that's physically, whether that's spiritually, whether that's especially, it has to do with like just feeling, confident in knowing that anything's possible. I love the 9 of Pentacles because she knows her value, she knows her worth, and she owns it. And then the bird comes and flies to her. There's a sense of not confidence, but I would say security in one's ability. With this reversed, it's saying that there's an unsurety right now about this person that you're having, or this person might be having an unsurety themselves or against you, or maybe it's both, about how to find that sense of beauty in that place and if that's possible or not. Because the 9 of Pentacles knows it's possible, that anything in the world around it will come together, and that I would say would be it. And the reason why that card was picked was because the Chariot, in order for you to get it, you're going to have to make a journey towards it all the way. The Chariot card has to deal with connecting with the divine. It's got the Magician's wand. It's got the star drapes at the top. And it's also got the moons that are on the shoulders of the Chariot. It's also got the black and the white Sphinx of connected to the universe. This is my card, by the way, if y'all didn't know. So this is the card to move towards it. The only way through things is going into it and trusting the universe instead of being stuck on physical form. The challenge that we have with this relationship is the 6th house, which has to do, they say routine here, of course, but yeah, maybe the two lifestyles are different. How does the routine look? How does the day-to-day life look? But this is just a challenge. Like, this isn't meaning that this is going to stop it. It's just a challenge that you keep going through, or maybe you keep processing of how will the world work together. The outcome is to just focus on the direction, and you got to take an aim and you got to fire towards it. And especially with the Chariot card, and especially with that 9 of coins, you got to focus on what you really want and go towards it. And the reason why we pulled that focus card is because we got, wow, this is one of the best cards in the deck for love. 8 of Wands. You have to take the journey. The Chariot card, the focus card. I mean, these 3 cards right here are saying you got to go. You just got to go do it, right? 8 of Wands, flying up into the air, going towards it. These are the arrows of love. And how funny that we got the focus card that actually has the bow. So we got the bow with 8 arrows here. You've got all these shots, take them, because the Chariot card will take you where you need to go. Why did we pull this 6th house card as the challenge? Wow, we got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So I think that this is saying that, you know what, the challenge is, why don't you allow the wheel to just turn in your life instead of holding the wheel? You're like holding it from turning a big corner in your life, but you want that big corner to happen. So why are you afraid of it? Are you happy with the corner that you're in right now? Are you happy with the way that it is? Why don't you just get on that Price is Right wheel and just spin it and see what happens? Don't be afraid of it. We got Capricorn 11th house Venus. So this is definitely needing to make decisions about the kind of world that you want to live in, and the kind of relationships with Venus there, and the goodness that you want of something exciting, something that's fun, that also has some sort of deeper meaning, especially when it comes to a purpose in life or structure, something that can actually be achieved in the world. And I think that this is a beautiful connection, because even though Venus and Capricorn can sometimes feel like, well, it's serious, but it's in the 11th house. It's serious about the world and the connection, the electricity that it wants to have. And so this is a beautiful reading for that person, whoever that it was that you were thinking of.
Right. And it can be a little scary, when we're heading into a new love, or even when we're taking our love to a whole new level. There's that extra trust that you're putting into an individual, and you're kind of releasing a part of yourself to say, okay, I'm going to let this individual into my life. I'm going to let them in deeper into my heart. And that can be scary. But as those cards show, it's like the tank is full. You both are in the car, you're ready to go. Are you going to press gas? Are you going to press the gas? Are you going to actually go? Or are you just going to keep sitting in park and just kind of waiting around and discussing? You're in that parking lot. Are you going to go and make out finally? Or are you just going to keep sitting there and listening and fucking with the radio? The time is now. The love is there. The appreciation is there. Let that abundance come in. You can't be afraid anymore. That's what I'm feeling, at least.
I love that analogy you used of like, are you going to make out or what? There's nothing worse than like, when you're with somebody and you know that you both want to make out, and then it's just like somebody's like not, especially, I mean, ladies, if you're with a man, he ain't going to make the move, and you've put out all of your flowers of energy, let's say, and they don't, like, that's probably frustrating on your half. It's even more frustrating as a man having to learn to just take the move, like there's a shyness. I remember in high school being like, gosh,
Definitely.
I just spent 9 hours and I could have made out and I didn't the whole time. Gee, Merry Christmas. That is just that's probably one of the worst feelings in the world. And then when you say like, oh, I really wanted to kiss you, you're like, why? I was waiting the whole time. You're like, no. And it's like, I can't see you for another week because I'm in school and blah, blah, blah. It's like,
Yeah, the fear can be crippling, It's that unknown, it's the unsurety of yourself. And that's what we learn throughout this life, is kind of brushing it off. There can be situations where when we're younger, it would be crippling, would hold us down because we were the fear of how people were going to react to us, how that individual is going to perceive us. Now, hopefully throughout our life, we can kind of take all that and place it together, so we're not necessarily so afraid of what the outcome is going to be, because we do hold that power within, we do hold that love within ourselves. So we kind of just have to take those chances and let those punches roll with it too. Sometimes you're going to get bruised and battered. Sometimes you're going to come smelling out like roses. Like this beautiful art behind me that was painted by the one and only Kim Tabay. She actually just launched a new website, kimtabay.com, KIMTABAY.com. We're going to be doing some fun things,
and
right?
yeah, she just sent me a list of materials. I was like, go get it, because we're going to be painting up in this a lot.
Yeah, she's about to do a whole new background that's there behind you.
Yes, this is where you're well, this will still be used in other things too, but we are always updating things here at High Vibe. Let's see what the next sign is. First sign. We haven't done a sign. First sign is Libra. Of course, on a full moon in Libra. Of course, Libras are first. Isn't it funny how the universe does those things?
Ain't it a hoot? All right, where are these at?
It's dumping up here, by the way. Our ceilings here at the studios, and we're in a warehouse, 13,000 square foot warehouse, and so it's dumping. I don't know if maybe you hear it in the background.
Little pitter patter of the raindrops just pouring down on us. I'm doing pretty good. I've been lining these things up pretty perfectly with that bumper that I got going on there. Make sure you follow the Leo Kingdom of Love on Instagram, the Leo King on YouTube.
Oh, it's just the Leo Kingdom on Instagram.
I thought that it was of love.
On Facebook.
God, I blew it. Scratch out the of love and just go follow the Leo Kingdom.
It's cool. If they type it in, they'll know it's Leo King.
And you can follow me at Chief Mojo Rising.
All right, Libra. Well, it's a full moon in your sign, so you got to put your emotions about what you want in your life, but the opposition is the sun in your relationship house. So with Mercury coming here as well, and with Venus going shadow in your 9th house, I mean, this is really about you having to believe, and you got to express your beliefs. And there's a part of Libras having to take a confident step forward emotionally that you're not used to, instead of waiting on the other person, right? Because there's something about that Libras have to learn as their 7th house is Aries. It's about the confidence you have in yourself and which direction you take and which identity that you want to have. So what kind of identity of a relationship do you want to be in? A lot of emotions with Jupiter, Pluto, but the main thing is Mars and Saturn in your love house. That's going to square Uranus. Actually, as we're talking right now, Mars starting to square Uranus in your 8th house. You got to take some bold moves. You got to do some deeper, intense things. And there's a lot of things about pushing to the edge of places that you've never done before, because you're used to actually getting pushed to the edge by others. Now you got to push things to the edge. Your card for this week to start off with is the 8 of Swords. So you might be feeling right now like you are trapped in a love situation, or that you feel like it's not going anywhere. It might feel like, you've been waiting a long time, or it might just feel like you're crushed about it. Let's see why. Wow, heartbreak card with it at the same time. So there's definitely something about some major heartbreak. It might be that you're in a stuck situation, or that you're in a really trapped situation that it is the ultimate heartbreak. So this could be a very big heartbreaking week for Libras, realizing that you have to deal with your true emotions, or maybe not enough edge. But it also could mean that this is the first part of the card deck. So let's see what's going on. The challenge card here is the 7th house. Wow, about relationships. Holy shit. So Libras are definitely dealing with, either they're denying themselves, or they don't have it, or they're missing love, or they're in one that's not the one that they want to be in, or they're wanting somebody and it's not working out that way. Let's see the outcome here. It is nature spirits. I think that you need to, ask what your guides say. You need to ask what angels are saying. You need to tap into, what's the answer that Spirit's saying through this, and what is Spirit going to help you do? Ace of Cups. This is starting from a new emotional space, and you needing your cups fully fulfilled. And so the way that you're going to go about that to get over the 7th house of partnerships and relationships and challenge is, wow, the 6 of Swords reversed. There's something that's saying that, you're not ready to leave the situation. 6 of Swords is leaving the situation. And the challenge here is that you're not ready to leave, but you also got to go. If you're going to go back, you better go back full blast with everything that you got to make sure that it's there with love. And I mean, this is one of the hardest readings I've ever seen in my life, having a 3 of Swords with an 8 of Swords. We're going to pull one Ganesha card to help you understand.
Ganesha.
We're going to just pull Ganesha. We're going to pull Ganesh.
Yeah, I'm picking up maybe some sort of heartbreak as maybe they left a situation a little prematurely, or didn't fully speak as to why they were leaving. And so they're kind of holding that energy within themselves that needs to be released.
Yeah, and it also could be that maybe that, I agree, it could be a past situation that still, especially with the 6 of Swords reversed, getting over this relationship, like maybe they thought it was fully over, or all the loose ends were done, but maybe there still aren't any loose ends, but there is an Ace of Cups at the forward moment of the overall. But I also feel that, maybe it's it's self-trapment. One thing about the 8 of Swords is it's being trapped in your own self. You think it's outer parts, but it's within yourself. Like you're the one blindfolded, you're the one in toxic waters. And then the heartbreak is kind of like, like you kind of have to wake up to your own, kind of inability to do things. It also is, I think, what we're about to see with Ganesha here is to help personal transformation. That's what you've been going through. And you're transforming the way that you're dealing with the relationships as a whole. And I love how Ganesha is pointing to, the sphere here, which is the sphere of God. There's a God consciousness here, and you're connecting more with God, but you can only connect with the energies that are there. But there is the Six of Swords reverse saying to maybe look back to see what's there and see if you can fulfill your emotions and if your guides are calling you there. But just be prepared. There's heartbreak that is extremely possible in all directions, everywhere. You're going to have to rub the line. If it's not really going to go in the direction you want, you must have to do that personal transformation and leave. Your astro dice for this week is the 4th house, Pisces, Neptune. So you're definitely in a position right now where you're emotionally extremely vulnerable and sensitive right now, but you cannot also let these emotions drift you off into imaginative spaces that pull you into too weird of a direction or pull you away into some sort of like escapism role. Like you just can't just go escape into the emotional realm that you want. You have to really connect with spirit. And I think that a lot of this is that there's a lot of emotions that need to be expressed fully, and they need to be truly let out all the way, because we don't want to hide them with Pisces and Neptune. And this is extreme vulnerability at the highest for Libras.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to fully transform out of that relationship or out of that situation and get that growth until we are truly honest with ourselves, and even possibly honest with that individual that maybe we left, or, at the time we thought it was right, but now possibly we're second guessing it and we're feeling like maybe we wronged them a bit. Because that other individual might be perfectly fine for it. It might have worked out. They could have been hurt right there when you left and saying, why? But as time goes on, they could learn a little bit, they're loving again. And so you shouldn't be holding on to that and kind of holding yourself back. Release it, let go, bring it up to that individual if you do think that is a subject that maybe that's holding you back or not, but let that transformation come. Continue to love yourself, continue to work forward, and it will shine on through, baby. Shine on through.
Shine on. Let's see what's going on for the next sign of the zodiac. Who do we got in the High Vibe Red Cup? We've got Cancers. The crabs.
Crab people.
Crab people.
Crab people.
Hey, got crabs?
No, I don't.
No, I was saying you got some crabs. You go to Red Lobster or something?
During the summer, yes, lots of crabs.
Or Chick-fil-A? Fucking on delivery? You can't go get groceries in LA right now?
Bam.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, you gotta fucking get the chicks, I guess. Chickens. All right, Cancers. This week, we got a full moon in Libra. This deals with your 4th house of emotion in opposition to the sun in your 10th house of your long-term destiny, career, and major decisions. And with Venus coming into shadow period here in your 12th house, this is some major choices that you need to make emotionally. That this goes back to 2012. What has the last 8 years brought you to a place to where maybe you were in a magical love story? Remember, that was the South Node that was finishing there in Gemini, that was with the Venus retrograde the last time. So I'm sorry to say at Cancer, it's almost like if you can look at all the transits of Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn has been in in Capricorn, all these relationship transits you've been going through, is maybe the last 8 years was just all a dream that was really not the dream. So this is going to be intense for you, because you're about to come into the truth of really what this last year is about. And there's like a weird wake up. So you want to start to use your head, and you need to start to be an adult. And with Mercury still in your 9th house right here, that's going to come into the 10th after the Venus shadow, you're going to get real clear on things really quick here. And remember that Mars right now, of course, is in Aquarius and square to Uranus with Saturn, that is in this very powerful 8th house for you of depth, sex, and rebirth. And it's squaring Uranus, the rebirthing that you must do, and the changes and the passions to get to the world that you want to, Uranus and Taurus, to go better. Your first card that you got is the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. So I think you've been working hard on something, and maybe just feeling like it's like sweating and doing it all, and was it all worth it? Did you get anything in return? I'm sure you did, but was it the ultimate worth it? I know that, Cancers might say, of course it's been worth it, and oh my gosh, or you've been putting a lot of work into a relationship lately and it hasn't been working, or you maybe even talking it all up, or you're not putting enough energy in. If you're especially single, I won't put this on relationship ones, because I'll be honest, Cancers have been putting in their relationships everything they got. But single ones, maybe you're not putting enough in and you're not seeing the results that you want back. The reason why that you pulled that card is the Hierophant card. It's all about whether or not this is truly divinely guided by God and also if the tradition, or this could be marriage energy as well, if you're in a relationship, has this marriage been more work than actually what, was said? Remember each other's vows. Are the vows really working out? Sometimes you got to go back to those vows, especially those married Cancers right now, and see how they are coming out. But I would say that this is definitely a moment where it's like, it's been a lot of hard work, but I don't know. Is there really going to be a payoff there? You got the Mars card as your challenge card. That this is about identity issues. This is about, maybe you force the situation. Maybe you're forcing way too many issues in relationships, or you keep trying to force it to work. The other thing is an identity issue where maybe it's like you're too afraid to be alone. Your outcome card that you got is the good fortune card. You have good fortune when you actually maybe really start to identify the truth about what God wants for you to do and to have a return of investment for all the work that you're putting in. But are you going to get that if you're still trying to force something? Because this is tired energy, a 7 of Pentacles with a Mars card and challenge. It's almost like you're putting in way too much and not getting anything. It would just literally be like, keep digging a hole every day and expecting to get to some sort of water and there's nothing left. Or it'd be like hiking in the middle of the desert to an oasis that just isn't happening. But there's good fortune when maybe you stop putting in that energy and focus on yourself in a new direction in your life. And the reason why this good fortune is going to be is two of cups reversed. When you pull out of something that you think is a soulmate, or you pull out where you realize that the emotions are not being met on the same energy. So this is definitely going to say good fortune is coming from making sure that you understand where things are upside down emotionally, where they're not seeing eye to eye on things and they're not truly emotionally on the most powerful connected. Your challenge card, of course, is the Mars card. The way to get through that spiritual advice is the 6 of Wands upright. Victory when you put yourself first. Victory when you don't force things anymore. Victory when actually maybe you go in a direction that actually is going to take you to the place to where you really want to. Because I'm going to be honest with you, Cancer, based off the astrology, you have bigger dreams, you have bigger wants, but you're afraid to go for them and you don't believe them, and you're too afraid to leave situations because you think that that's impossible. But the truth is that you're missing out on the ultimate victory of your life.
Victory.
Astro Dice, you got Leo, Neptune in the 3rd. Holy moly. So you need to communicate your true heart space because it has not been truly said. I felt that right before I said that. It was weird that I channeled that, and then we get this in the Astro Dice. I'm telling you, there is a lot of vulnerability to speak from your heart. There's a lot of vulnerability to speak from your courage. There's a lot of sensitivity. There's also a lot of confusion there because you might be thinking that things are all rosy when really they're not. Because you have to communicate the deepest, most vulnerable place of yourself and see what happens this week, Cancer.
Yeah, we all have those internal battles, and it's not necessarily about winning or losing. It is that compromising state within ourselves that is really going to let us move forward in this life. I wanted to give a shout out. That video that I showed you earlier, I got an awesome email from a viewer and her 5-year-old daughter. I want to give her a shout out. Arion, aka Evelyn. Evelyn, that was an awesome astrology wheel that you made. That was an awesome
your
video.
solar days, your lunar.
You do.
The Leo King was all about it. My favorite was at the very end, Evelyn, when Mom asked, what do you want to be when you're older? And you looked around and you almost looked like, are you serious even for asking me this question? And you were like, astrologer. That was the best part ever. Right, it was the best video. And all the 8 years of getting videos, that was the best video we've ever gotten, or 100%. I've ever gotten in all my years ever. You win.
Thank you for the support. Keep it going. Keep expressing that love from within yourself. Keep pushing forward. Always do right, and enjoy yourself through these crazy times right now. It's going to get better. It's going to be beautiful times ahead. So thank you very much for reaching out.
Yeah, no, that was the most beautiful video ever got in my life, to watch such a beautiful young soul know astrology at 5 years old. Know they want to be an astrologer, and they made their own astrology wheel, and it's like not one that you see anywhere else. Custom. That's a custom one.
Yeah, she made it. It was beautiful.
And
awesome.
But I'm meaning like it's like her, like the way that her soul is channeling already the astrology. She's already on it, and she knew exactly where her birthday is, right there at the end of Cancer. I remember. That means that you and I got sons pretty close, Evelyn. So I love you lots, and thank you so much for sending the video. It meant a lot.
Mom says she was born only a few hours from the shift into Leo.
So her and I are just literally just 1 degree apart. She's probably born on the 22nd or maybe the 23rd. All right. Who's the next sign here? Capricorn's opposite of Cancer. All right, we got the Cappies up next.
Cappies.
Get them Cappies going. Wow, I'm actually reading the chat. She drew all those. She's an amazing drawer, and it was even more than her drawing. It was the way she put it all together, and it's a functional, personal, unique to Evelyn's self astrology wheel, and with the solar and the lunar days and how she moves it herself was beautiful to watch.
It was awesome. It made my morning, because obviously like right now, it's some crazy times. So a lot of the emails that I get are intense videos or facts about the world right now. So that was a nice step back and just like the pure beauty of just life, a 5-year-old enjoying something and having that passion already and that knowledge. It was really nice to see. So it put a smile on my face. So thank you very much. It was a nice way to start this week off.
Oh, it was beautiful. All right, Capricorn. Well, Jupiter and Pluto just met in your sign this weekend. So you are starting a whole new story that is a big new journey and a big new transformation. And it might come with a lot of like, this has to end. But the more that you watch something end, the possibilities are about bigger new things to happen in a better way. And a lot of that has to do with this Mars and Saturn in your second house, dealing with your self-worth, and a big square over to Uranus in your fifth. So for love especially, this is a new time for you to really look at what's really worthy of your time, your values, and your true heart space. We are going to see this full moon in Libra in your career house and decision house and, long-term house. So in opposition to the sun in your emotional house. So there's some pretty hard emotional choices that you have right now. And I think that you need to kind of maybe for just 1 second, remember to balance things out. Balance out the decisions by like, is this worthy of my time? And is my heart really here? And how much of that is there? And this is a time for you to make sure that you really are emotionally living the life that you want to live instead of the weird Chiron story that would be. And with Venus shadow for you, it's dealing definitely with a lot, because it's dealing with, are you in the right reality, the right lifestyle that's going to work for you? What happened in April into May and June of 2012 for you? What was going on, especially in April? I want you to pay attention to that, to your health, your day-to-day life, your work, that you need to make some major changes right now, and that affects your relationships. And to not be distracted about relationships that are pulling you in the wrong direction right now, and be with ones that are going to pull you in the right career direction. This is a big career transit for you. You don't want to miss out. Or with relationships that make sense for you in your long term. Your first card that you got here is the Empress card reversed. So I would say that this is definitely like, I think relationship wise, it's almost like kind of feeling like you're not really getting everything out of it. You might be trying to date somebody right now, Capricorn, or you might be in a relationship, and it just feels like there's not a lot of support there in the physical and the sensual realms right now, and especially feeling empowered from it. So I feel a lot of disempowering energy right now about relationships right now. The reason why you got that is, wow, the Ten of Swords in reverse. So it feels like you're done. You're done with doing the same thing over and over and over again. You almost feel like you're in the same repetitive pattern. Single Capricorns out there might be in a place where you're done with just continuing to starve yourself of the good life, the good feelings, the good emotions, the good love out there. The challenge card that you got for this is the Jupiter return of benefit. So you feel like you have bad luck right now this week, but you need to remember that you don't. It's because you keep going in the same patterns and you're expecting a different result, right? That's insanity, especially with the Empress reversed. You're doing those same things because you're trying to step into something beautiful that might not be beautiful already. Like you're going to have to take the mask off and actually see what's really behind there. Or like you're going to have to get the Biore pads and start to get off all the makeup and really see if there's more than a lot, like one's it. Maybe there's 12 and maybe there's 15 blackheads.
They got little face vacuums for that.
Wow, look at this, dude. Fucking, when this card pops out, I always flip out. The future card of our outlook is the New Life card. Holy moly. Especially with that challenge there of Jupiter return benefits and challenge. You got to start this new life. You got to start, especially with Jupiter, Pluto. Let's just use the astrology here for a second. New life about love, new directions, trying new partners, trying new directions with that especially. Why did you pick that card? Wow, you got the Knight of Wands upright. Oh my gosh, you're ready to go ride into the sunset, into a great new, happier place in life and actually go on the journey of love that you really want to go. If you go in a new direction, a new life, Are you willing to do that? Why is that challenge here with this Jupiter return? Jupiter also, remember, is about taking adventures in life, and you have this in a challenge position. And what did you get? Wow, you got the Devil card. You know, I feel that with this, it's almost like saying like you're not actually doing what you really want, believe it or not. And actually it's darker for you to try and like, you know, stay in some situation that is not giving you any benefit at all, because that would actually be the dark. It almost might feel like there is a dark presence over this partner or this relationship, or even if you're just single in yourself, that is holding you from the ultimate. And that might be crazy when you start to look at that deeply, Capricorn. 12th house Pluto in Aquarius. Well, that's a zinger. Yeah, this one's definitely saying a major change has to happen in a shock value here, especially that is not spiritually aligned, especially pulling that Devil card. And I felt like there is some sort of dark force or dark energy, or the person's energy that is kind of maybe trapping you, almost like a incubus or succubus energy. And I think that you need to kind of like shock the system here and try something radically different. And I think that you need to get to the bottom of subconscious things that are disconnecting you from a higher and much more beautiful place, instead of connecting to a place that actually is shocking the shit out of you in the wrong direction.
Yeah, it's almost like maybe the focus has been so one-sided. I'll take it like this. So I've been focusing on my health. I've gotten all now the supplements that I feel that I need for my body. So now I can adjust my focus onto something else. Now, whether that is rehabbing actually my sciatica and focusing on my body, now that I have that side of the aspect all finished. See, it's just like in love and within yourself. You could have already fulfilled certain aspects in your life and you're still focusing on that and it's not getting anywhere. Like maybe you keep trying to talk to an individual, talking to them over and over and over, and it's not resonating. But it might be you're going about it the wrong way. Maybe they're feeling attacked. Okay, maybe they're not comfortable in the situation that they are. So you need to go and look and reassess the situations that you're actually in and how you're going to move forward in that. It's times like this that we have to take a step back and we kind of have to reassess the situations that we're putting ourselves in and the people that we're dealing with, because we're all not going to resonate on the same level. Okay, so focus on yourself. Where are you fulfilled? Where are you fulfilled? Now go to the next step. Where are you not? Okay, now start working on that. Now hold that space still, but start working on that darkness within.
I like that you bring up, sometimes people aren't just, like we put things out there and then it's almost like we expect people to be knowing exactly what we're putting out there. And it's like, there's got to be some times and moments, I think, in life where it's like, hey, some people might be processing things differently. And you got to remember where people also are in their life. Maybe they're dealing with something else. And when that energy comes in, it's like, whoa, kind of catches people off guard, or people are not ready to understand it because of just where they're at. Maybe sometimes you have to put a little bit more of a warning shot out. Sometimes it's like clarity too. But I think especially for Capricorns, like, and especially like that Devil card, like there's something maybe within yourself too, but the obsession of like having things look a certain way, when it's like maybe like back off a little bit and allow the beauty to come. But I think that there's something to say that, you know, for single Capricorns out there, it is kind of blocking the goodness, right? By almost trying to define the journey without actually going on the journey, you know? So that kind of might go along with what you said, but I think it's a lot of like, how can you define a journey without going on one?
So we're at 2K. Do we want to do this next sign or do we want to do sexy?
We'll do the next sign, and then we'll do the 2K sexy time reading. Pisces. We're going to do Pisces, then we'll do the 2K reading. I'm having a cigarette, so typical Pisces moment, right?
Pisces.
By the way, I'm not Pisces. I have no Pisces in my chart except Lilith in the 8th house of Pisces. It's probably why I smoke. I don't give a fuck. On camera. Lilith in the 8th. Mars and Scorpio. All right, Pisces. So Mercury's going to leave your sign this week, and this has been a long stay for Mercury, just like last year. I know it's been confusing, and I know you're trying to figure things out, and it might be very confusing in love because of this fact, although Jupiter and Pluto make a great sextile, so a lot of it is like who you're hanging around and the kind of world that you want to be. You need to understand that before you understand your relationship life, because that deals with everything. But the big news, I think, with Mars and Saturn in your 12th house is, yeah, I mean, it could feel really lost, and you have to like pull one for the Gipper. Mars and Saturn here, the two malefics in your 12th. And square to Uranus in your 3rd. It's time for you to use your head. And it's time for you to try new things. And it's time to also step up and speak your value, speak your worth, because there's a lot of self-worth issues on this full moon, dealing with the 2nd house with the sun in Aries and this full moon in the 8th. What do you really want, Pisces? And I know that's coming at a time when it's confusing, but with Venus in your 4th house going shadow by Thursday, you need to wrap up and understand where you're at emotionally with things, because I think there's a lot of lost energy. And I know that Pisces typically get that. So it's not like I'm saying it's a cliche thing. Like literally right now, Pisces are living the most Pisces they've ever been, especially with Neptune now at 19 degrees in your own sign and about to hit 20 soon. We've never seen Neptune hit the 2nd decan since the 1850s. So you are, and as the last decan, especially here, it's way, way, way crazy. So Pisces, you need to be clear on exactly what you want. And stop playing all these games in your head and your emotions, and especially if it's something that feels like it's holding you back. Why are you doing that? Are you holding yourself back from what you want by not communicating correctly or trying new things or going to a better space? Your first card that you got is the Star card. Wow. Now, Star card is, of course, this beautiful card because it's naked, but it's also kind of feeling stripped away from everything. It comes right after the Tower. So I know that you might feel that you're just kind of bare and naked and don't know, but you need to listen to your guides. You need to listen to the stars, right? The Pleiades here, this is where Venus is going to actually retrograde right here, is in these Pleiades, and it's coming shadow into this place. So this is a time for you to really like accept that it's okay to be barren and not knowing anything, because this is where great things can be made. It's like a blank sheet of paper. Now you can make whatever it is the way that you want to make it. Why did you pull this card? Well, you've been working hard on things in the past and they just haven't been working the way that you wanted to work out, or you feel like you didn't get the return that you wanted from all the hard work. Maybe that's something you got to drop. It's a new story now. Maybe stop carrying that story in the past. Oh, you know, it never works for me, or relationships never work, or I always put this work in, this person, and da da da. It's like, are you going to carry the story of like a really hardworking, like, you know, factory worker in China slave story that like, oh, I got coronavirus and then I had to fucking go back to work and fucking make those Nikes? When maybe like there's another story that you can create here. You did get the Gemini card, I think, as your challenge card. So there's definitely that your mind is twisted out of control here, and especially about thinking and processing things correctly, or even communicating, I would say, is a very big issue right now, especially with the big Mars square to Uranus right now, with Mercury being in your sign. And it will come into Aries and start to trigger a lot with Mercury in between Chiron, of course, that's in Aries, and Neptune in your own sign. There's definitely a lot of weird energy of confusion right now as a challenge for you in your love life and just your own life in turn, which might be creating some weird situations in your romantic story too, or your partner. You pulled the Earth card as the overall card. You need to understand your values, your worth. What are you doing? Have a plan and execute it. And I think that that's very important for you right now, because if you don't do that, you're going to be really confused and really lost. So you need to figure out the physical reality, and you need to know the worth, and you need to set that intention of what you want that worth to look like, what you want your partner to look like. You need to have like a physical understanding of it all. It can't continue to be kind of this fish story in the aquarium and looking through the you know, like the crystal ball and think like it's just all going to pop up out of nowhere. The reason why you pulled that card, the Earth card, is, wow, look at this, 4 swords. I think that this is a time for you to really meditate on what you want physically to happen and to look like, and then express it and communicate it right, and stop having the story that that's not possible, that you're going to work so hard for it. And you have a whole new story that could be created. And I think that you need to focus on that new story. That challenge card of the Gemini, wow, you got the 9 of Cups upright. Wow, so this is beautiful. It's saying that the way to get out of your mind is to start thinking about things positively and showing and communicating positively and living in an environment that's positive for you too and around you. Because I think that there's a lot of toxic environment stuff going on right here, especially with the fact that 3rd house Gemini rules that, and the Star card. You need to come from a cleaner slate. And the Earth card with the 4 swords needs to be a much more processed, much more peaceful place, much more connected with divine. I love how in the 4 swords in this original deck, of course, you've got the stained glass window there in the church. So there's definitely a lot of energy about cleanliness and cleansing a lot of things, and really, truly, you know, being around the right environment. You did get the 4th house with, wow, the South node in Virgo. So I think that you're emotionally too focused right now and how reality is going, when you just need to focus on clear decisions of the way that you want your vision to be, and authority, stepping into authority. And I think that you can step through authority by just understanding what that dream is and walking towards it and trusting the universe, instead of you're trying to almost like nitpick every little situation of why emotionally things aren't going the way you want to in your relationship life and in your overall life right now. And that's going to cause you a lot of problems this week if you continue in that space.
Well, sometimes we got to look around at the ground around us. Are we keeping, a clean house? Are we keeping a clean car? Are we eating clean? None of those are necessarily a necessity, but it can be a trigger point as to what maybe isn't going right in your life. Maybe you're living kind of in your mind or up in the clouds all this, when really you need to ground yourself. You need to get back to that stable foundation so that you can bring in that abundance, because you do have that love. The love is sitting right there for you. But everything's scattered around you, and you're walking around, your knees are all bowed out, and you're stepping on your heels, and you're falling over and breaking your ankle. Maybe it's not a time to wear heels. Maybe it's time to just tie those pumps up and just go for a nice stroll. Get back to yourself, get back within yourself on what's actually truly making you happy. What is it, huh? What is it?
What is it?
What is it?
Well, what is the next sign of? Oh wait, it's 2K sexy time. I'm sorry. I know people. I think we got how many people in there? 2,000?
Yeah, we got over there.
We there? What are we at? Oh, we had 2.2. 2.2 thousand. This is a pretty simple reading. It's a lot like the 1K collective love reading, but this one's about more sexy time. And where's it going for sexy time? Now, creep ball out alert. Don't be thinking about somebody that you've never talked to or that you're just envisioning and it's not really going the way that you want to. I think that it's going to be important for you to make sure that you really start to realize this has to be about somebody that you're flirting with, talking with, or a partner, or somebody you're dating and stuff, and stop getting lost in kind of like dreaming about somebody that possibly could be. As long as you've had some communication and talked, or some DMing going on or something, texting, Tindering.
Sexy.
Meeting at the grocery store with masks on, whatever it might be.
Sexy time.
There better have been something like that.
Sexy time.
I want you to envision that person right now, and don't be a dirty you-know-what and be like, no, it's about somebody else that it makes more sense with. No. All right. First card that we got here is the Emperor card. So this person definitely brings you a lot of power. They have power a lot in themselves. It feels like they are in a place of authority, but so you might have to step up if you want that in your life. You might have to step up to the plate. Because the Emperor steps up to the plate. You might be feeling like, oh, they're not stepping up to the plate. No, that's a reflection on you not stepping up to the plate. Oh, that's the truth. Because I'm pulling the Emperor as this person, and this person knows what they want. They're ready to go. What's up with you?
It's a sexy bomb.
I made a joke. I think it was last week's one, but my buddy sent me this thing. I tried to show it. It says like, cocaine positive, tested positive. It's like herpes tested positive. It's like marijuana, THC tested positive. It's like COVID-19 negative. It's like, okay, good, ready to go. Like, it's almost like, what fears are you creating yourself that you're not even looking at like more valid ones, Like, I feel like, what are you holding back from here? The reason why you pulled that Emperor card is, wow, look at this Six of Swords reversed. You're afraid to move forward into it, or you keep thinking backwards, or you have an issue where how are you going to move in to a sexy situation with somebody here if they're in such a great power and authority in themselves, but you still haven't turned away from an ex, or you're still screwing an ex, or you're still talking to an ex, or you're still thinking about an ex. You're not going to be able to move forward with this person unless you're ready to go all forward. And I think that that's part of your insecurity or issue is like, you're like, well, what if it doesn't work? I don't want to like have my guarantee in the background. Come on, really? If that was such a good sexy time, I don't think that you would even be thinking about this person. Your challenge card that you got is the 12th house of escape. So the challenge is thinking that, that you can somehow get to this place imaginatively and that it will just magically happen. It's not going to just magically happen. You need to take authority. I'm not going to even use escape because the escape is that you are afraid to even go in. So you escape from it. You leave it. You like deny it. You're like ready to go. And then nope, pull out, ready to go. And no, and I'm not talking about literally either. Like in sexy time thing. You don't even get that close. We're not even talking about same room here. Or maybe as Craig was saying earlier, you know, maybe like when it comes to the makeout, it's like always like, I have to go to the bathroom. The overall card that we got is the air card. You got to communicate what you want here. You also got to start to think straight about what really makes sense for you in your life if it does, because it's showing that it does, but it's communication. You got to be clear. It's like you're not communicating something. And I feel that you're not communicating something, especially with the challenge of the 12th house. You're hiding something, and it's something from the past, especially with that 6 of Swords reversed. The reason why you got that air card, I pulled 2 cards. What the hell? Page of Wands reversed with the 9 of Cups. So you're expecting like all this good news to come and exactly that you want to. And you have all this hope for this. You have way too much hope, and you're putting way too much emphasis on it coming to you when it's not. You having to go to it. That energy is ready, but you're not showing up for it. You're not going towards it. Put that optimism more into you showing up, and it will work out by communicating. The reason why that 12th house showed up here, that escape energy, wow, you got the Emperor reversed. So weird because it's a different deck. You're not showing up because you don't have the power that this person has. And so this is a mismatch unless you're ready. And especially the issues here is going backwards to old love and to old stories and not ready to let go of them, or thinking that there's this positivity about the old stories still, or hoping that that'll happen. You did pull the sun in the 6th house in Aquarius. So are you ready to make a change in your reality that's radically different? Are you ready to connect on new vibrations, new frequencies? Are you ready to really connect on a human level to a new reality and actually be real? Or are you just going to continue to bug out and, you know, kind of be not within rhythm, or, you know, kind of an odd reality like person? Are you going to be kind of also too nitpicking, the weirdest shit? Like, it's probably because you're too scared to actually feel connection fully.
And the truth
Excuses and really weird ones.
Right. And the truth will set you free, and it will be a breath of fresh air to like fully communicate your love and your appreciation of that individual, so that you can get onto that same plane, so that you can be there together. You get ready. You hop on that, even though we don't have it this time. You can hop on the chariot. You each can have one rein in each hand, and you can go right off in the sunset together. The love is there. The appreciation is there. Don't be scared. Just push forward. Continue to express yourself, always truthfully from the heart. Fuck the brain.
Booyah! What's the
Shake,
next
shake,
sign that
shake.
we got here? We got Tauruses. What would be a happy Taurus? Like a sexy time with the Taurus. It sounds like a rooster now. Maybe that's the rooster in the morning and everybody thought it was a rooster, but the whole time it was the fucking Taurus fucking getting rammed in the back.
Yeah. Taurus,
yeah.
lucky you.
Hey, welcome to Deep Love Tarot. All right, Taurus. Well, Venus just left your sign. Now it's a Gemini, your 2nd house. It's time for you. You know if you want it or you don't. You got till Wednesday night, and you better do something about it, or guess what? You're going to go into a weird space where you're just going to feel like more and more like it's just going to kind of like go farther away from you. And the reason why I say that is because Venus is your ruling planet. When it enters shadow, you better be clear, and you better get to the bottom of it, and you better make your move. Especially with the sun in Aries here, you're going to miss out with a full moon in your 6th house. This is telling you to get balanced and get to the reality and make the life the beautiful life you want. This is it. This full moon, you got this moment. If there's any sign that's going to deal with missing out the most, it would be Taurus astrologically, because they're still holding off with Chiron and then Mercury by Friday coming into their 12th house with the sun in the 12th, with the squares of Jupiter and Pluto in your 9th, like still trying to hold old stories. New stories are about to begin for you if you're ready to jump into it or not. Come on, Taurus. Mars and Saturn in your freaking 10th house. Time to take authority and grow up. Time to grow up and get what you want. Let's go. You got till Wednesday night.
Hey, let's go.
Queen of Wands reverse, man, you're not ready to own your heart, are you? You're afraid of that. You're afraid of like really going to it. You got excuses. Excuses to be the queen of your own happiness. Wow. To have the ultimate happiness. You just are pulling out, or you're afraid of it, or you know what? A queen has authority over her heart, because no matter what happens, even if some things didn't happen the way you want to, sometimes Queen of Wands reverse is like, oh, I feel like an idiot. I've done something like, or that person's an idiot or whatever. It's like, get over all that drama and start to step into the real drama of like happiness and love, instead of creating all these stories and excuses. Wow, you got the Tower card. You just are so afraid. You're afraid of your heart. You think it's just going to be nothing but catastrophe. But I think that you're creating a catastrophe by not showing up fully and by continually to go. It's like the second that things start to get right, you might think it's the other person, but it's actually a subliminal, like subconscious energy within yourself of like this catastrophe happening because you're not really ready to fully commit, or you have something that you use as an excuse that you feel that you can't be the queen of your heart about. You can be the queen of your heart anytime.
Anytime.
Wow. Your challenge card has changed, the lunar eclipse. You're emotionally afraid of the major change of your life. If this could be your home life, it's a lunar eclipse energy. So emotionally, especially a full moon in Libra, and you pulled the lunar eclipse charge, you're afraid of the beautiful life that you really want. You'd rather stay in the shitty one that's really lost. Look at this. Your outcome is the karmic path. So you definitely this week are coming to the big karmic path decision in your life, but which one are you going to take? Let's see what that's going to be. Ah, the Magician card reversed. The choice of either stepping into your magical power of love or denying yourself of it and believing that that magic doesn't exist, not because of an outer person, but because of within yourself, you not choosing to show up fully, you not choosing to make the end all be all, you not choosing to really go for it all the way and come up with... There's so much about excuses. I don't know why that just came up. Let's see what the spiritual advice is with your lunar eclipse card. The Sun card. Oh my gosh, the ultimate happiness for you is when you go into the change that you're so afraid of. So the ultimate sun can come into your life, the greatness. Look at that thing, glitz and gold. Oh my gosh, I could probably blind you, blinded by the light. Self, well, undoing all the way to self-sabotage, subconscious self-sabotage. Or being with somebody, if it is outer, this person is extremely dark and fucked up and honestly, like dark. Like you wouldn't want to show them to anybody. You'd be like, oh my God, like I'm feeling like gang member or like illegal activities or something like that. That'd be the only thing that would be an outer person that would be that. Or they came in a way that was like repulsive. Uranus and Sag in the 6th house. Yeah, you have to change your reality by going into a new direction, but you got to go through the experience. A lot of this stuff has been about experience for a lot of signs lately. You know, your life is only going to change and go radically to the future that you want to by having the experience and by taking a risk, which is opening up to the experience and seeing what's going to happen. But you got to give the full gauntlet. You got to open the door fully. You just can't open the door just a little, you know, oh, like, let me just see a little bit of this and let me just try it. You got to give it your all here to move forward into the future.
Feeling the pressure of change can be very overwhelming at times. Can be very overwhelming at times. We might not feel like we're up to date with the latest fashion, or we might not feel like we're up to date with the latest whatever it is, and we feel like we need to change. We're getting that outside pressure. Let that come in. Feel that, because through that discomfort, we talk to it. Get comfortable with feeling uncomfortable. Let that change come naturally. Put forward those steps into the betterment of your life. Okay? You can't just let it overwhelm you. You can't just let this tidal wave come and just keep crashing you and crashing you and crashing you. At your own pace, start digging yourself up. Find that floor and push yourself off to the bottom and get back up there for some nice, clean, fresh oxygen. You can breathe. You have it. The abundance is there. Are you going to better yourself, though? Are you going to take the steps to better your life? That's what it really comes down to. Step by step, day by day. just relieve the pressure, focus on little things, better those steps every single day. And that's it. That's all you got to do.
That's all you gotta do.
Baby steps. Baby steps.
Baby steps. Baby steps.
What was that? What was that movie with? God, I'm brain farting right now.
Brain fart?
I'll think of it. We'll keep going.
I don't know. It looks like because of the quarantine, Top Gun ain't gonna be released in theaters. I'm pretty upset at the moment because I've been waiting my whole life to see Top Gun 2 in theaters. And but you know what? We're all having to make sacrifices. So when it comes to love, if you think, well, maybe I'm going to keep the hope and I'm just going to sit here and not do anything about it. It's like, Top Gun ain't coming out. Aquarius. So. Got to maybe watch something else or change the story or the narrative.
Aquarius.
The most horrible song that was given to them. All right. So Aquarius, I know there's a lot of intensity with Mars and Saturn in your sign now, and we're going to see Mars square Uranus. So yes, this is about what you want in your life, but it's about where you're at emotionally and trying to get out of comfort zones. I think that you have gotten too comfortable if you're in a relationship, that you're afraid of trying new radical things, that you're trying for safety too much. You might have gone through some traumatic emotional situations lately that are affecting your future outlook. We got Mercury that's going to come out of Pisces, which has been in your second house. So this is a little bit of, self-worth issues or losing yourself into that. But this full moon is going to be in your ninth. Like, you got to believe in the beautiful story that you want to happen, because your mind is rattling a million miles a minute trying to figure out how to get to this beautiful story of love and happiness, and just even in your overall life. But I think a lot of it has to do with Venus and your relation, or your love house about to go to shadow. So what was going on with your love life in April 2012, and then boom, May when it went retrograde, and June when it was retrograde. You're going to be replaying a lot of that same energy, or a lot of same stories coming up that you need to focus on here. But especially for you, Aquarius, you need to kind of get on the game here about your romantic life, about what you're doing about it, or making some sort of communication. That's the whole thing about Aquarius. You got to communicate. You can't go be an alien, and Mars and Saturn are forcing you to let your emotions out here, so you can get the love story kicked into gear here before this Venus retrograde and the shadow kicks out by Wednesday night. Or you're going to be dealing with some weird love story stuff all the way into July. We got eclipses and shit coming in June, by the way. Just waiting for Craig. We got the moon card. Definitely a lot of subconscious emotions, a lot of emotions that need to come out, Aquarius. This is the emotional suppression that comes with the moon card, and the little dark creatures having to come out. Ooh, even late at night. Maybe you need to express yourself late at night.
The freaks come out.
Maybe you've been not doing that enough. Maybe you've been going to bed too late or early, like a grandma or grandpa. Well, let's see. What was the card that pulled up? You did pull the 10 of Cups reversed. The ultimate love story of happiness, and this is one of the best cards in all of tarot for when it comes to romance and, marriage and the ultimate love life. Well, if you're suppressing your emotions, it ain't happening. Or if you're too lazy, or if you're still saying way too much in your own little personal space and trying to take care of yourself so much, and you're not, reaching for the stars, reaching for the ultimate, maybe you're too safe. Maybe you're playing things way too safe right now. Maybe you've gotten too used to safe, and at one time that was great, but it's not great anymore. It's like the inner rebel in you is finally waking up. I can't wait for all the Aquarians to be rebels again. I fucking can't wait. It's just been, holy sorry world. We got Sagittarius as the challenge card, so this could be the challenge. Could be a Sagittarius, could be Sag energy. It's like believing or expanding, experiencing new stories. It's like wanting to, subconsciously hold on to a story that you think is beautiful, but it's not beautiful, but you think it is. It's like it's a back and forth belief thing. You know that you want to expand. Why aren't you expanding the story here? Or you're letting your partner not let you expand, or you're not expanding your love story at all right now because of emotional situations or staying private. Look at this. Your overall card is a transformation card. It's time to transform. This is the butterfly, of course. What comes before a butterfly? A caterpillar. So you're a little old caterpillar right now that's in their cocoon needing to transform. But that only will transform fully and be the butterfly that'll fly if you go through new experiences, or you experience your love life more, or you open up to it more, and you let out your true emotional feelings, subconscious ones, about maybe even the stuff that isn't making you happy or didn't make you happy, but at least getting it out there can help things transform this to a different place. The reason why you got this transformation card is the Emperor reversed. Yeah, you're not ready to transform because you're not ready to step into the power of transformation. You're not ready to step into the power of where your love life can be, especially because these emotions have kind of taken away your confidence in yourself and the power. Your spiritual advice card that you got is the Four of Pentacles over that Sag card. So this means that you're holding on too tight to everything the way that it is instead of expanding your life. And it's time for you to maybe start to hold tight to more of expanding your life and going through new journeys and new stories and new adventures than staying on the same one, because it's obviously got you to a place where you feel like it's at the end of the road. You got the 7th house here, Aquarius, of your own sign. Wow, in with Pluto. So we got Pluto, Aquarius, 7th house. Yeah, this is going to be a major, deep-rooted transformation about your relationship life and whether or not it's truly connected or not, or if it's disconnected. But you need to get to the bottom of where you feel the balance is. You need to get to the bottom of where you're standing with people right now in your relationships, or where your future's going, because there's something to say that the future, it's either all in and making a change for it. It's either all in on a relationship that you're going to go experience a wild, crazy connection, or you're going to have to put the end to something here. And you might not do it for a while, but this week would definitely bring up like this whole overall feeling of like, uh-oh, this thing, it might be like a shock to you. Like, uh-oh, what would happen if I ended this? Would this actually expand my story to where I want to go? Or if I stopped denying myself in relationships, Pluto, like I've been just focused on my own needs and wants. What about somebody else's? Instead of thinking about always about it like as you and the partner that could come into your life, what about like going out there and making somebody else happy?
Exactly.
For the single Aquarians.
That's a good one. Making someone else happy. At the same time, self first is not selfish. And you have to have that self-love always. But you can't just continue to hold that in within yourself always. You can't be afraid to go spread that love. Go spread that love seed all over the world. It's time. It's time.
Go spread that love seed.
Go spread that love
all
seed.
over the world.
Safely.
Within 6 feet.
6 feet. Love seed. All over.
Mask on.
Mask on, mask off.
Gloves on.
No glove, no love.
And carry your mask with you at all times. You never know. But you know what? This is how Aquarians are right now. Just in life with people. Hi.
Hi.
So that can't happen anymore, Aquarius. This is what you look like. You look like Bane and Batman. Hello, Gotham City. Ha 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 ha. And you don't even know that you are missing out on love. Ha 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 ha. And you, Aquarius, are the reason why. Ha 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 ha. You keep yourself covered and not emotional. And you don't go for it. You stay safe. I thought you were a rebel like me. True story.
The truth.
Who's next? Who's ready for the next one? Fuck, I'm on my Bane right now. I would have been a good Bane. And it's Gemini who's next. Oh, now I'm getting a little scarecrow. Hey. Fucking. Oh my God. As you can tell, I like the Christopher Nolan Batman series, the fucking Dark Knight series. It's the best shit. Batman Begins.
I watched Joker for the first time this weekend.
That was good, right? I mean, it was too dark for you?
It was boring. Very boring.
I liked it. I mean, you didn't think it was gnarly when he shot Robert De Niro in the face at the end? It was nuts, bro.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, I mean, that was good.
I mean, you knew that was coming, though.
Knew that was coming. Wish it happened more often throughout the movie. Should happen more often.
I thought it was a much more deeper story of an Aquarius who, no, I'm just kidding, with a Gemini rising. No, I'm just kidding. That just, it was more the story of it was good because if you see the character throughout all the other movies, is like, how did this guy come to be? And that was creepy, and the whole clown place that he worked at, and like how he was all fucked up in the head. And he was fucking mentally insane, and even believing that girl down the hall was real and all that shit. Oh my God.
Yeah, I thought that he did a great job acting wise. Just could have gone without ever
You're just
seeing
not
it.
into dramas
Just
enough,
could have
I
gone without
think,
ever
huh?
seeing the movie. That's about it.
You're not a drama person.
That's true. I'm not.
I'm all about dramas. I'm all about character
Save
acting
the
and
drama
like
for your
stories and
mama.
subconscious shit and where people are at and their human story. That shit's what I
try to watch Gattaca.
Believe it or
but
not,
it's
Top
on
Gun is not
Netflix.
about the action. It's about the human story. It's a drama.
It's about volleyball.
Exactly. I played volleyball in high school. Love that shit. Well, Gemini, are you bouncing around between playing volleyball or
Riding motorcycles?
yeah, or
Into the
I don't
sunset?
know. I was gonna say like quarantine.
Yeah, that's good. That makes more sense.
Gemini, out of all the signs, I got to give you my biggest warning. Venus is about to go retrograde, okay, in May. Venus goes shadow on Thursday in your sign. This is intense because you have to really understand what you really want right now in your life. And it feels like you have to make a really intense decision about relationships, about what you want. Because this full moon in Libra is in your 5th house of love. And it's opposition to the sun in Aries in your 11th house. What's the world that's going to bring you the love that you want? Are you around the lover or the kind of person that you want to be with that's going to take you to the world, their circle of friends? Does their trajectory go where you want to be? Because this Venus retrograde will kick you in the ass with the North Node. Like, oh, I really wanted this. It's like Rahu and Venus can sometimes be deceptive. So, especially in the fact that you might like try so hard for something that you want, but maybe you were like, fuck, I didn't pay attention to the relationships that really were a better karmic story to where I need to go. Like, you need to take precedence right now in picking wisely to the ultimate place you want to be in your life. And if you see it, you got to seize it. Especially because, well, Mars and Saturn are in Aquarius. You need to start looking at new adventures and new stories now. And Mars is squaring Uranus in your 12th house. It's almost like don't block yourself from what you already know is the experience you know that would be the best for you, instead of being afraid of that experience and trying to come up with some Uranian excuse of going backwards, because you're just afraid to really step into your true power of what you really want in your life. And you got to speak up for it. You're a Gemini.
Damn.
Because Mercury's in Pisces in your 10th house going to your 11th. You got to have confidence. And you also, at the same time, have to not be so, I don't know, there's something about this, like, in a situation that you are almost like trying to believe, no matter how fucked up it is or how weird it is, that'll work. Especially if it's like not the world in what's aligned with you. Wow, you pulled the Tower card reverse. You're definitely not ready to pull the cord on something, or you're afraid to put an end to something. I mean, you are Gemini, so you could be dealing with two situations, so you don't know which situation to end. Or at the same time, it's almost like if you're single and you're not dating anybody, it means that like you're not ready to end that single story by yourself, you know? You're afraid of like the tower to your freedom, or the tower to that, or the tower to somebody that maybe somebody's holding some sort of power over you that you're afraid to put an end to it. Yeah, Queen of Wands. You need to go with what, energy really feels like it's connected into your heart space. I always love the black cat there because there's always that energy of like, there's a psychic energy with the cat, and cats protected the pharaohs. The pharaohs knew when somebody walked in a room, if they were allergic or anything like that, that they knew like that person's not in their heart. Goodbye. So either the person's more connected to cats. There's a lot about that. You got to look at that with the Queen of Wands in the original. And there's the lions. It's a Leo card.
The tigers and the bears?
No tigers, no
my.
bears. Feline.
Oh my gosh.
And it's the
there's
golden
so many
sunflower,
animals.
right? It's like there's a golden energy to it, not like a dull energy to it.
Can we show that card again?
Yeah.
Let's show them.
I like the Queen of Wands. See, we got the sunflower, we got the 2 lions here, and we got the kitty. And she is holding a wand. She is on a throne that goes all the way to the top, and it is on the sediment on the bottom that is truly got its foundation and secure in its heart space, and it's holding the sunflower of the golden energy.
What was the first card that was chosen?
The Tower reversed.
Oh, nice.
So, you know, I feel that it's like, are you ready to put an end to not being in the best, most amazing love story? Or are you going to continue to be in a love story that you constantly are trying to avoid ending, and you're putting all of your energy into that, where it's like a constant, you know?
Oh, the age-old question.
I don't know. We're going to see
Should
the
I
challenge.
stay?
Wow, look at the challenges that you're afraid of destiny. So you're trying to create your own destiny. But destiny's pulling you another direction, and you know it, and you don't want to go towards it. You're afraid. You're afraid of where destiny's pulling you. Why are you afraid? Look at you yawning. Hey, I've come up with millions of ways when I get caught on camera doing things. I'm like, oh, it's just doing this, you know?
Just a little.
Just a little, it's 9:38 at night. Gotta go to sleep, man.
Well, you know. I wouldn't even have noticed, too, if you didn't say anything.
I noticed that shit, dude. I'm like, oh, got you on camera sleeping.
Gotcha.
Why are you afraid of destiny, Gemini? Home card. This is trying to get you to your true home. So you know where home is. You know what makes you feel like more like homey energy. If it doesn't feel like homey energy fully, it feels like something's off there, that'll help you. Why'd you pull this home card? Page of Swords reversed. Yeah, something that it just doesn't make sense. The environment, it just feels like there's something off about the home. If the outcome is, if it feels like something's off, or it feels like somebody's using you for their home, or somebody's trying to come into your space, or maybe you don't have like a home, or you're looking for somebody with a home, but you're not communicating it. I don't know. Like, this is a really weird one. I got to see what this yod is. Wow. 8 of Swords reversed. You think you're free by free will, but free will is holding you from destiny. Yod is serious. God is the one that's pointing the direction that you need to go, and is pointing you to your true home. But you don't understand that, because it's almost like, well, that's not possible. Or in your head, you just think, well, especially looking at the past too, of things that have happened in your thoughts or your mind or any of this shit, like your head is just wrapped up in some weird shit. This can't happen, or this can't, because you're too empowered over keeping a tower that's falling constantly. But you're just like, nope, I'm going to avoid the next one. I'm going to avoid the next one. You're actually like in a toxic more place when you miss out on your destiny. You're about to miss out or step into your destiny by the choice you make this week, Gemini. And you'll notice it through this retrograde. 10th house sun with Taurus. You need to think of the most ultimate long-term plan that is the ultimate value for your life, that's going to create the ultimate place for you with money and career and long-term longevity and stability. And sensual energy too. That's empowering and makes you feel like an adult, or somebody that is more adult at the same time.
Yeah, the change is here. Now that I know that the camera's on me, the change is here. And you can't be afraid to take it. I mean, if you think about how many relationships that you know, how many individuals that you know have just like stayed in relationship just because they're already in it, because they're comfortable, because they're too afraid to make the changes, or they don't think that they're capable of making those changes. And whether that is leaving an individual or whether that is just voicing their opinion, you got to voice it. You have to be true to yourself. Nothing is going to change unless you actually put forward the steps to make it change. It's not going to do it. I said it last week. Just the analogy of sitting on the couch and that love's just going to show up to you, thinking that's not going to happen. Pizza door guy is not going to come here and just be the love of your life. You got to actually put forth the energy, put forth the change, and put yourself out there. But you can't be afraid of it. Change is here. Embrace it. whether that's a little bit of change step by step or whether that is a big tower moment. It's here though.
Big tower moment.
Big tower moment.
All right.
Like the big towers, you know? Not the little towers.
Next sign that we got is Aries. Happy birthday,
Happy
Aries.
birthday.
Woo! Can I get a little
Ba-ba-ba.
Aries fire up in here? Well, I don't have fire today, but I do have a Tesla coil. There's a little fire, just a little bit.
I got a little fire. I can find a little fire here. Let's see what's up. Let me get a little
Tesla coil. Aries. Aries. Hey, Aries. How are you? Aries. Aries. Are you an Aries? Aries would be annoyed if somebody was like, hey, Aries, how are you? Aries, Aries, Aries. Like, Aries, motherfucker. Shut up. Get out of my way. Like, you know. Get out of my way. Aries, Aries. Little fire.
little fire. Little fire for the Aries.
Oh, if there is a full moon about actual relationships, it's the one zodiac sign that has the Libra full moon about relationships at its full, and it's Aries. So, this full moon is really about balancing your life, paying attention to your relationships, and if it's in alignment with you, with the sun in your sign, it's your birthday time, right? Especially those Aries that are going to be born here on Tuesday, so April 7th and April 8th. Oh my gosh, you guys got some full moons for your lunar, or for your solar return. Venus going to go shadow in your third house. You got to communicate here what you want, or you got to reach out. If there's somebody that you've been trying to reach out to in love, or if you're in a relationship and there's a lot of communication stuff that has been not dealt with, you got to do it now by Wednesday night, or else you're just going to be in a communication weirdness for a while, or an environmental issue with relationships. It's also interesting with Mars in your 11th and Saturn in the 11th square Uranus here. Ooh, and Taurus. Like, are you ready to have the world that you really want, or are you just going to continue to either hold that back by a self-worth issue, a weight issue, or some sort of money issue or something? Like, you need to make some strides towards connection in a different way and connecting to relationships in a whole different way. And maybe, you know, for you, this is like a whole new long-term story with Jupiter and Pluto in your 10th house about career and it imploding and needing to explode in a new direction. And I think that this is about Aries really stepping into really the relationships that make sense for them for their long term, that are going to make them more excited and also make them feel better about their self-worth. They got the 10 of Pentacles. So this is all about the foundation, the home life that actually is creating the ultimate castle and the ultimate ability to hold all the values in your life that you want. This is a beautiful card. I love this card. One of my favorite cards in the deck, because it truly brings a place of solace, a place of people to congregate at, a place to where you feel that all the connections in the world can come together in a place that you're around. So it's almost like, Aries, do you have the world that really feels like it's secure in a place that has all the energies that you need to? Or is it missing something there? Let's see. You got the Queen of Cups. This is a week where it's like, it's either dealing with a relationship that's everything to you emotionally and really starting to appreciate that. Or if you're missing that, you know exactly why. You're not emotionally at all feeling secure because you're at a position to where you're not feeling like it is the foundation that's going to hold up the ultimate of all your values. Wow, look at you, got your challenge card as Black Moon Lilith. The mystery, well, the mystery is whether or not you're going to go all in. There's a challenge about you going for exactly what you really want in your life, the ultimate. Why are you afraid to go for the ultimate? It's like denying yourself for that, or thinking that you're a bad person, thinking that you're a dark person when you're not. Message, I knew communication was going to come up, and of course this is the moth, but it's a beautiful moth, and I think that this is definitely you having to step forward, and maybe, I mean, it might feel like it's an unbeautiful way that you have to approach and communicate what you have to do, but it is a beautiful color behind this moth. It is one of the most highest spiritual colors, so I would say that it's like actually communicating, you might think is an ugly thing, but it's the most beautiful thing that'll transpire from it. And you got the Sun card reversed. So the communication is going to help you get out of this weird cycle where you don't feel like your full self, or you feel like that you've been doing everything for everybody else, or you feel like you've been kind of like not able to express yourself fully because you feel like you're judged, or you feel like you're being told how to ride the horse in life instead of just riding the horse the way that you want to. Your spiritual advice card over that Black Moon Lilith is the 5 of Pentacles in reversed. Wow. I think that, you know what? You're playing your own victim by not going after what you really want in your life. You don't think you deserve it, that you don't think that it's possible, and that you feel like you're a bad person. So I think that there's a victim mentality here that is your main challenge to the ultimate thing that you could have in your life. But why stay in something that isn't that way, or why not go towards something that could be the greatest thing in the world? That's going to be your big question this week. Let's get a little bit more here from the Astro Dice. We got Neptune in the 3rd house with Mercury. Wow, yeah, you need to communicate all the subconscious stuff that you have been afraid to say, been too shy to say about, or that you've been saying, or you have some, secrets that you need to bring up, or maybe some things that have been questioned that have been in the background for a long time, and bring it forward to kind of clear the air here, or that you've been waiting to say something, but you've been too shy, or it's too sensitive for you to bring it up, and it's going to be forced for you to bring it up this week.
Yeah, I think there's a major fulfillment of abundance when it comes to those areas, but they might not know how to completely voice what they're feeling inside. And again, you have it within yourself. It didn't just appear out of nowhere. All this power that you hold within yourself, all this love that you hold within yourself, it didn't just appear. You cultivated it. It was with you day by day through your struggles, through your great times, and that's what made you who you are today. So just speak yourself, speak your mind, put it out there into the universe. All will be golden. But make sure that you back it up with actions too. Don't just speak it. Anybody can say how they're feeling. Anybody can say what they're going to do. But when it comes down to it, are they actually going to do it? Are they going to stick to their word and build on that foundation with you? That's what it comes down to. That's the beauty of life. Now watch David recording me.
I'm just doing an Instagram story of Craig behind the scenes.
Oh, hi.
Those beautiful words to Aries.
Well, Aries. I got a love-hate relationship with those Aries.
I know, and then I got you on camera. Well, now it's me on camera doing it, but whatever.
It's still me. What up?
I'm going to tag you in this, bitch.
We're just having a blast over here on this Monday evening. It's raining a bit, which is a nice change in Southern California. It's green. The foliage is out there. It's been pretty clear in Los Angeles. We can see all those beautiful mountains that have been behind it. That is obviously been a plus that people are talking about. The smog cut down everywhere, major big cities. So if you can, go and appreciate some nature. Obviously, there's some certain rules and standards that we must apply by at this time. But if you can, sneak out 6 feet away from an individual and get out into that world, get that fresh air, get that sunshine on your face. I was just laying in my backyard in the sun this weekend. It was very nice. It was very nice. I got a little vitamin D up in my life. So highly, highly, highly recommend it.
Well, who do you think that's next? There's not many left. We're rolling through. Rolling. Keep those Scorpios rolling.
Oh, because there ain't no party like a Scorpio party. Baby! God, I've been waiting to throw this hood on fucking all night. Yeah, it's time, baby. Let's go get fucking freaky, real freaky.
Oh my gosh.
Scorpios, I get excited.
Scorp.
I get excited when my own sign comes out.
Oh my God, Scorpios.
Oh yeah, time to get real freaky.
Time to get that black lipstick out, that black eyeshadow, and get your black clothes out.
Can I get a little gold from you?
Yeah. How's it? Hey, there's no more basketball, so at least there's a bank shot. Bam.
I had some messages about when we were having that exchange with those grapes a few weeks back.
Right.
They said my throws were quite shitty.
They were really shitty.
And that it was all my fault.
It was like I was being thrown grapes at me like it was fucking baseball, bro. You were throwing that shit fucking like fucking Verlander at me. I was like, what the fuck?
Well, you know, I only got one speed. It's fast, real fast.
I have to admit, I do miss baseball. It really sucks.
We could play catch in here.
Yeah, actually, well, if y'all don't know, I'm moving actually, so.
No.
But I do know my baseball glove is in my closet at my house.
Mine's at my Faja's house.
Or we should just go buy new baseball gloves at, well, nothing's open. You can't even go to a grocery store in LA now, so. Oh, I was about to say, let's go to fucking Dick's Sporting Goods. Let's go to fucking Play It Again Sports, buy some old used gloves. Somebody else's like story. But
Play It Again Sports is
that's
still
the
open.
story of Scorpio. Are you going to just keep playing with somebody's old fucking shit? Are you ready for something new?
Yes.
Oh.
Tell me some things.
Oh, that is the best Uranus and Taurus story for Scorpios right now. Stop playing with the old glove and play with the new one. Well, I say that because Mars is in your fourth house of emotion with Saturn here squaring this Uranus on this full moon in Libra in your 12th house. Full moon in the 12th house is not easy. You got to purge the past and move into the new Aries 6th house of a new reality. And with Uranus here in Taurus, it's saying with relationships, focus on the new. The new. Not the past. Not the old glove at Play It Again Sports.
The pitter-patter.
Be like, I'm going to use a Scorpio terminology. Be like, are you going to rewear that old condom from 3 years ago?
Sometimes you got to
That
wash
was
it
used?
out. Go back to battle.
It's disgusting.
I mean, is it though if it's with the same individual? Let's be real. If it's with the
Yes.
same individual, is it still disgusting?
Yes, it is fucking disgusting.
What if you do lukewarm water to kill the germs?
I don't care what it is. It's disgusting. Thank God I have a moon in Taurus. Fucking so I can help Scorpios out with this one. I mean, let's just be real. Would you go sleep in a bed that had been sweated on by somebody that you didn't know for 10 years?
No.
No.
No, I would not.
Well, now that used condom is, let's say, thrown in your drawer over 3 years, that condom is now sitting in a drawer that has any little creepy crawlers that can crawl in there. Dust, mites, corona. So, because it's just anywhere in the air nowadays. It's just... So, I don't know if you'd want to slap that thing on your dong. You know what I mean?
So everyone knows I don't reuse condoms.
I know. I'm saying this to all Scorpios. That Scorpios have to go into the new emotionally to get what they want in the future, not the past. Because this is a hard time. I'm going to be real. All Scorpios are going through some rough shit. I know because I went through all this shit in fucking 2012 when Saturn went into Scorpio. And I scored my sun. I'm a Leo. But now this is what Scorpios are going through. The first square since Saturn conjunct your sun from 2012 through 2015. And so the moments that were there about love and relationships and all these things are at the square point emotionally, but it's telling you to move on to the future now. It's hard. It's in your fourth house. When Mars and Saturn are in the fourth, it feels like you're in a deep hole. And when you got a full moon in the 12th, it feels like you're in an even deeper hole, but there's no hole. The hole is the past. And to let it go. And those videos that we watched earlier of me, when I started this, that was when I had Saturn square my sun. And you know what? It was a moment where I had to let go of the past, that I was a failed reality. Well, I wasn't a failed reality star guy, but you know, that my failure of my idea of what life would look like and be. And I was so attached to being a reality star through 3 reality shows and they didn't go anywhere, that it was this humbling moment of just emotionally going in the new. Especially in Aquarius. At least mine was horrible. It was in Scorpio. I was like, fuck, I have to fucking transform my life completely from like that to this like astrologer like fucking guy that nobody wants and everybody fucking hates me. They think I'm weird. This is at least you just moving into a different emotional space. Now, Venus shadow in the 8th is saying it's time to bring out the true Scorpio. You have to make commitments with Venus. and stop doing the head game thing, especially with Jupiter, Pluto. The head game's got to change. Because if you keep playing the head game until Wednesday night, it's just going to be a head game fucking about trust and connection. You always feel like the connection is always missed and always just a communication and a thought instead of the real thing, which actually that's what destroys Scorpios, is when it's just a thought and not real and felt deeply. Ooh. Would you rather have it or not have it? That's the big question.
I would like to have it.
Then have it.
Okay.
Well, you pulled the Hermit card, Scorpio, so it's almost like you are kind of acting like an old dude.
Got a little Bambi though with me, right?
Yeah, but you know what? At the end of the day, do you think this fool's straight up fucking? No. He might have gained some wisdom and knowledge, but maybe you need to stop. You know what? It's good to keep your knowledge and your wisdom, but with love, and I pulled the Hermit card, it's somebody who's like hermiting from love or acting a little bit too old. This should be a fun, exciting love story life. Let the love story happen. Don't be the old creepy dude in the forest. Fucking, what has he been doing with that fucking deer? Wow, 4 cups reversed. Something great's coming to you, but it's almost like you're not wanting it. You're wanting to rather be the hermit. And with the reversal, it's almost like you're not seeing something good is coming your way or has come your way. And this week you have to really see that and let the old man use the wisdom to see that, but then remove the old man to accept it, or old woman, or however you want to look at it. But it's still more like a creepy old man. Your challenge card this week is the fire element of desire. So your challenge is, are you going to miss out on desire? Why? Isn't that how you live your life? I thought you were, ain't no party like a Scorpio party, baby. But it's more like, ain't no party like a Scorpio party, dude.
Dude and dudette.
I know the energy's low energetically right now for Scorpios, okay? But that doesn't mean, that's when you let desire more in your life. You let fire in. Don't restrict it from being with you. Wow, you got the healer as your overall. So somebody's trying to heal you with love. Let them heal you, baby.
Let that love
You know what? This
shine in.
isn't about a Scorpio party. This is about a Scorpio healing session that turns into a party, baby. Let that love in to somebody here that's trying to heal you, and they got their eye on you, eye of Horus, the sun god, baby. They got the sun energy with them. They're here to heal you with love. That's the only thing that's going to heal you right now. Too, you might be dealing with physical shit in the 6th house with the sun there still. Wow, the Empress card reversed. So it's like you almost don't feel like you're deserving of that healing or love. And so you would rather feel empowered by almost healing them or doing things for them. But you know what? Maybe you need to accept it because you're not in your best space and they actually see you in your best space. But you might feel insecure because you don't want to be vulnerable to show that you're not in your best space. Your spiritual advice card that you got is the death card over that fire element. You need to put an end to blocking this desire to come in to heal you, to make you feel great. Wow.
Simple.
Scorpio, 7th house, Jupiter. Wow. It's time for you to block all the walls out and open up to the desires and passions of a partnership right now, of the new adventure and the edge and the passion and ever, and not enter into the boring and the denial of the experience of without. Would you rather have the experience of with or without? It's the first thing I said, and that's what Jupiter and Scorpio is all about in the 7th.
Well, we heard it first here, Scorpios. Apparently, we have to step out of our comfort zone and let people love us, which can be difficult at times because we like to reside in the dark and depths
You
of
like to
our
be in the woods as an
soul.
old man with a fucking creepy deer, which I'll be honest with you, maybe we need to call fucking protective services on deers. What were you doing with that deer, Scorpio?
I'm raising it because I'm going to be hungry at some point. That's
Oh,
why
and
I got
see?
the deer there. I'm going to feast. Feast, feast, feast. So maybe Scorpios, maybe it's time that we feast. but we have to let that love come in order to feast. We can't just go rabid.
Well, that is what Venus in the 8th house is about. But it can't be an idea in the mind and always about about communication or thought. You just need to fucking go in there and have the experience of like the stimulation instead of it being the stimulation in your mind or when you think it is. Like, get over all the mental blocks and just say what you want. That's the best thing. Venus and Gemini in the 8th for Scorpios is say what you want and you'll get it. If you don't, you won't. You have to attract it in.
I will no longer hide from love. I will let the love shine in.
No more hiding. No more hiding, old man.
'Cause ain't no part of Scorpio party, baby.
No more hiding like an old hermit. No more hiding. You can't hide anymore.
All right.
All right. Where are we at? Next. Okay, we have like 3 signs left.
Damn, Daniel.
All right. I feel like I'm doing bingo on fucking Better Call Saul. All right, here we go. It's a Virgo, baby. Actually, I was thinking right now if all this quarantine was going on for couples out there, even though domestic violence is up 30 to 40%.
Yeah, go for a walk if that starts to rise up.
There's going to be some babies being born, and they were trying to say, do not have a baby during this time, CNN. I was like, wow, this is just going really good, CNN. Your fucking coverage of things. Just don't have hope. Make sure you don't have a baby. And that the world's going to end and die, and everybody's going to die. You're really going well, CNN. And I'm not coming from a political standpoint. I'm just coming from a journalistic standpoint as a media company. Like, wow, you're pushing a lot of hope. I was thinking about this whole baby thing, right? So it's like, okay, so let's say this thing started in March. So we're at 3 months. You had 9 months. You get to like a bunch of Capricorn babies here, just like, or maybe some Sages, some Sag Capricorns with Pluto there, but with Jupiter and Saturn that would be coming together. It'd be some really powerful babies. Be some babies that would bring in the new age and the new world. This might be a great baby time, actually.
Throw those condoms
and the reason
in
why
the trash.
Throw those used condoms in the trash for sure because they're gross. And if a Virgo was to have sex with a Scorpio using a used condom, they would literally die. They would die. They would actually be more afraid of that than CV. Virgo, talking about babies. Are you being a big baby? Or are you ready to have a baby? Just 5th house Jupiter Pluto just happened. It was an explosion of, where your inner child might not be getting what it wants because, well, you have to learn to attract what you want, or some things that your heart wants isn't going to get because you have to learn the art of the opposite, which is Cancer, which is knowing how to emotionally connect with people truly and the world that you want. But this Mars now in Aquarius with Saturn in Aquarius is like, do you have your life in order? Does your life make sense with where it's going to go with your heart? And you got to like make some adjustments here because the square to Uranus in your 9th is saying that it's time for you to open up to a whole new crazy radical realities and go to new adventures that you've never tried before. And it's going to test your value. Like maybe you think, oh, but I can't do that. I don't have enough money, or I don't have enough self-worth, or I've never, it's like, you've been staying in the same lane so long. How are you going to ever have the ultimate happiness and love that you want? With Venus coming shadow in your 10th house, it's time to be a big boy and big girl now and actually make decisions to have the relationship life you want and communicate that, but ones that actually logically make sense. You have to communicate from a more adult space. And more importantly, you got to make some decisions here about your long term, about relationships and what you can change here to feel that inner happiness, because this Mars and Saturn in the 6th is going to affect your health. It's going to affect your day-to-day life if you're not ready to try a whole new routine, a whole new job, a whole new world. A whole new world where Virgos don't have to clean all day. No more Swiffers now and dishwasher sounds. It's time for Virgos to play a whole new game.
Boom. Whole new game.
I could be Aladdin right now. But I am... Oh, man. Dishwasher sounds. Let's see what the first card that we got here is. Wow. Uh-oh. Nine of Swords. This is the anxiety shock card. Waking up in shock and paranoia. And I know it's not an easy card, but you might be kind of also feeling really kind of shocked or heartbroken about some love situation in your life. Or you might just feel overstressed. Maybe something's not going the right way. Or maybe you just came into a shock and awe moment about your love life. But remember that it's a moment to wake you up, and it's over through the wake up, and now you can move through. Let's see what you pulled. You pulled the Five of Wands reverse. So it's like the shock moment is to get you out of confrontation and weird situations that weren't coming together anyways. So you're going to be shocked this week about love situations that aren't working in order to get you out of more complicated situations, because it's almost like you're in a complicated situation that you need to be shocked and aware of this week. Why? Oh, yeah. You're not really owning your self-worth or value, or you're afraid to own the relationship more, or, you know, you have some self-worth issues about it that you got to deal with. And so you might even be dealing with a partner who's testing your self-worth a lot. Or you might be dealing with situations with people in love right now that are testing if you can actually step up and own this. And if this also kind of deals with rejection, I feel like, in love, like, because maybe if somebody doesn't think you're good looking enough, or somebody doesn't like you, like, that doesn't mean it's over. That just doesn't mean that they want that. Like, not everybody's going to buy the same car. Not everybody's going to buy the same color. Not everybody's going to buy the same, interior. Like, you need to remember, like, there's so many options out there. And I think your shock and awe moment is a lot of self-worth and insecurities. And you got the talisman, you got the key to unlock the door to your ultimate space in your life. That makes sense, but you can't get that key unless you pass this test and you wake up to the shock and awe moment that you're creating or fighting for things that are creating more imbalances, and especially creating much more crazy, I wouldn't even say stagnation, it'd be quite the opposite, just your own internal disruption of things that are self-worth driven. Or, why'd you get this talisman? Yeah, you know what? You need to unlock the doors to see other options in your life, or create more visions. The Seven of Cups is definitely about also being delusional too. So maybe it's one or the other. And I think it's kind of both. One is continue to open up to the fantasies of the future, to look at a lot of options in your life for the happiness, and open up the key to the one that you have to pick. You just can't try and pick all 7 of these. But the other part is, like, you got to take down that key of delusion. There's a lot of delusion with Mercury finishing in Neptune, especially still in your 7th house relationships. Why'd you get the 2nd house of self-worth? Wow, you got the World card. The world is yours no matter what rejection you get, or no matter what the self-worth is. You got to own it in yourself. Remember that Botticelli painted this, and this is the Botticelli deck, and this is the birth of Venus. And Venus is about to go shadow for you in your 10th house. You need to own the world that you want, and you need to know your beauty. And if people want it, they want it. If they don't, they don't. But you got to own it in yourself. This is the ultimate test of a Virgo, to actually own the true beauty of itself. And I think that also for Virgos, it's like a time to enjoy beauty and have the world they want, but you have some sort of weird 2nd house issue of you don't want to get hurt or rejected, or you're afraid to show some part of yourself. And I think that you're having a wake-up call that you're missing out on actually connection. And you don't know which key to open, because you don't even allow the doors to be unlocked. You need to unlock some doors. Or you need to lock doors of delusion. Pluto in the 12th in Virgo. Wow, okay. This is a Virgo reading with Pluto in the 12th. Like, you need to destroy the delusions, and you need to also destroy the blocks. So you need to go, okay, in my reality, I'm blocking out this greatness. In my reality, I'm needing to put an end to this delusion. There's a 2-part to this, definitely. And a 2-way street here that's splitting. You're going to get out of the delusional situations and love life situations, and you're going to move towards opening up to the ones that would be amazing and transform your life into the ultimate place that you've always wanted to go. But you have to be open to that, and you have to be open to also being aware of the delusions of blocking as well, the most beautiful things and connecting to things that you think are beautiful that are not.
Yeah, I'm picking up a lot of distractions, almost kind of, like with that key. So if you got a key ring, and it's got those same damn gold keys. Every single one of them look exactly the same, and it's all jumbled in there. We can get kind of caught up in that thought. And it's like, damn, I'm never going to be able to find this key to unlock this door, yet we have all this potential. It's sitting there right in front of our hands. If we can just kind of get caught up in there at a point where we want to just kick that door down. When really we could just change that aspect. We can mark out those points that are very personal and important in our life and kind of dissect it so that we're not all just jumbled into one situation, one thought process, one mind, one feeling, car, whatever the hell it is. Dissect it, put them into different. I can't ever pronounce that word, so I'm not even gonna try. Anyways, look at all those keys, line them out in front of you. Say, this key actually suits me still. This key does not. And then you'll see. You won't have one of those George Costanza situations where you're effing up your back because you're sitting on this large lump of crap that's not needed in your life anymore. Where are you going, big guy? Just stretching your legs? Okay. Yeah, so if that made sense to you, keys, in one singular word, you have the potential to unlock any door. But is it going to be the right door? Is it going to be the right fit? And that's what it all comes down to, my friends. That's what it all comes down to.
Well, actually, it all comes down to the last two, which are Leo and Sag. Who do you think it's going to be?
Who do I think it's not going to be? I don't think it's going to be Sag.
You think it's going to be Leo?
I don't think it's going to be Sag.
What do you think it's going to be? It's going to be Sag.
I don't think Sag is going to be last. You didn't let me finish. You were cutting me off there.
You contradicted that thing the whole way.
You wouldn't let me finish there. I was like, I don't think Sag is going to be last. Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Last two signs in Leo and Sag, kind of interesting. It was last week that it was all the fire signs first and the air signs went first. Now it's all the two biggest energies, Leo and Sag last. Let's see here. Okay. Sorry, it was a long night filming all the horoscopes. Which you can get on highvibe.tv right now. All right, let's do front cam for this one.
Okay.
A little front cam here. Okay. Sag, out of all the signs that are going to deal with actual relationship Venus shadow into retrograde coming up here, it's you. You have till Wednesday, till Venus goes into shadow. And I know that feels like not a lot of time, like especially as a Sagittarius are the kings and queens of like, well, time. I got plenty of time. No, you don't. Why do you think that with relationships, they always come in fast, quick, and it's because you got Mercury that rules it in Gemini, and now Venus is in Gemini, going to go to shadow on Wednesday night, which will enter into a karmic zone with either A, you're going to let something fast and quick happen, or it's going to always feel like you're just trying to figure it out, or your environment's going to be missing it. Sun's in your love house. It's a full moon in the 11th. It's time for you to look at the world that you want to have with the full moon in Libra. It's time for you to connect to what heart you want, and it's a major, huge connecting point right here on Tuesday with this full moon. And more importantly, this Mars and Saturn in your third house, it's time for you to change your environment now to a much more connected place that you really want to be for your future. And you got to do it because it's squaring Uranus, which happens to be in your sixth house. It's time for a new reality that's moving you forward into more quality, more sensuality, more of the actual reality that you really want in your life. So why are you afraid? Well, that Jupiter and Pluto just destroyed this whole attachment energy to you when it came to money or physical, like, well, it's usually about money. I'll be honest with you all, because it's second house, but it could also just be like, well, I don't have the resources, or I need a resource, or whatever. Like, the inner resource is everything. And for you, it's about trusting your heart. It's about trusting the connection to the world that you want to have. And it's about connecting to the relationships that come in and out quick, that come in with the lightning bolt fastness of that Gemini energy, and Mars and Saturn in your third house. It's all about communicating. So you got to communicate, and you got to fully communicate, and you got to fully communicate what you want in order to have the world you want. But I think that this Uranus in the sixth house is the scary part, that the physical reality must change for you in order to have all this greatness. If you're just going to keep going backwards into trying to hold on to the reality that it is, it might be a long 4 months of just, what would be a good word of not getting shit for love?
Fucking
chaos of AI, or this would even be like the vibrator battery breaking, and then Amazon isn't shipping non-essential items. All right, Sag, let's see what the cards have to say for you, because you're emotionally in a weird space. What's the last card there? Wheel of Fortune reversed. Why are you holding the Wheel of Fortune from coming? That's kind of interesting, but that's your hidden card there. You did pull the Knight of Swords reversed. Wow, somebody's trying to rush in and you're not allowing it to, or you're holding up the reins. The Knight of Swords rushes in to save the day. But why aren't you allowing the energy to come save the day? Huh? Or you're not ready to save the day of your own life. You're afraid of that. You're afraid of the quickness of things. That's why I don't know why I was channeling quickness so much with Mercury being your 7th house ruler in Gemini. But the Knight of Swords comes in fast, comes in quick, and it's the only card in the deck that comes in quick enough to save the day really fast, but you have it reversed. So maybe you're trying to save the day as something that isn't working, like you can't save it anymore, about the past. And this is about moving forward into something and allowing something to come in to save the day. What did you get with this card? You got the Page of Cups. Somebody or some relationship situation, like this needs to come into, look at this positive energy. Page of Cups is coming with all the information you need emotionally, care, love, and with a positive energy force. It's trying to come save the day, but it's almost like you just don't believe it. So it's like you're processing it too much in your head, or you're playing head games instead of emotional truths. Look at this, your own planet, Jupiter of abundance as your challenge. You don't believe that good luck can happen and abundance can happen to you. That's your challenge. You're not allowing abundance or good luck to happen to you. Why not? Look at that lightning bolt too. I was talking about lightning. Look at that. Oh, look at how quick you are, dog. Come on, Saggies. Look at this. Your outcome is, what does knowledge come from? Well, you have to go seek knowledge in life. So you're not going to know until you know by actually going in through the story. And I think that this story is something that's trying to be created. What kind of story here? Oh, wow. You pulled the Lover's card up, right? The ultimate lover story? But you're not going to get that abundance if you're just not going to allow anything in to change things up radically. That's going to bring you the ultimate happiness and cheerio energy ever. Page of Cups always is a message of emotion, and it's emotion. Maybe you're afraid to get emotional. Maybe you're afraid to deal with the emotions. And maybe you've been wanting to be rescued, but you're too afraid to reveal the emotions of why. Why'd you get this? Why are you denying yourself of abundance? Wow, the High Priestess. You're too afraid to listen to your gut or your angels or your divine code that's being told to you from the highest source. So you're going to miss out on abundance if you're going to go against what the angels and guides and just even what synchronicity is and what the universe is saying by trying to control it yourself. And also trying to rush and save things or people from your past that don't bring you happiness. And your ultimate love story is about to begin, but are you going to miss that whole boat? Because I'm not going to listen to my guides and angels when they're telling me to stop doing that or accept the thing that you really want of abundance, but no, you want it to be defined your own way of how that abundance looks and when and so forth. You did pull, wow, look at this, the South Node in the 10th house of Taurus. So you need to focus not so much on your career right now and how to make money, or even about like trying to hold on to some place that you've held on to so long. It's the South Node. You got to focus on a North Node in Scorpio on the 4th, your deeper emotions and deep needs and wants. And if they're not being met right now in your life, there's something that you're attracted to that's trying to pull you in, or you can attract it to you. And that's what you need to focus on, is your deeper rooted emotional needs and foundation. If you are stripped from that and you're just like maybe in a beautiful environment, but it's just really just your control. And that's why I felt control. And then I rolled the 10th house. You're controlling the narrative by being maybe in a beautiful place, but that's stripped of everything that you've ever wanted in your life. It's not even really that beautiful though, you know what I mean? Well, the last one, I think I was first last week and I'll be last this week.
Voila.
The best and only amazing sign in the zodiac, Leo, the only one. So Scorpios could have a great party, baby, and everybody else could have all this shit, but let's just be real. Unless you're a Leo, you ain't getting fucking the golden fucking ticket this life. Oh!
So does that just mean I'm a double winner since I'm a Leo?
Well, you're Leo rising, so Leo risings get it too.
Yeah, so
and Leo moons get it too. But everybody else, sorry.
So that means I'm triple party.
Sorry.
Trips, baby.
If you want to go to the deepest astrological truth I could ever tell you, it's just the truth.
By the way, Sagittarius, get out of your own head.
It's funny because they're in their head right now, and then you just come through in a Leo reading and like, what the fuck? All right. Wow. Okay. Let's get rid of all the Sag cards. Wow. They pulled the Lovers. They were the only ones that pulled the Lovers.
But they're in their own way.
Yep.
Trying to paint a picture. That shit ain't going to happen. This is real life, baby. Can't control it.
Hey, yeah, I was about to say,
Hey.
it's an old route. They can't control it. Well, my fellow kings and queens, the full moon in Libra, in the 3rd house. This is about communication in an environment where you have to communicate and understand relationships a lot with Mars and Saturn in your relationship house. It's time for you to make some big strides in relationships that you've probably never done in your life. Or if you're an older Leo, you did in the early 90s, but not at this rate. But it's square to Uranus in your 10th house. So it's like as you're moving forward into your career, you also need emotional support and relationships that support you in that way. And especially this is about you trying to figure that out. And you've got to be stingy. You're a Leo. You're just not going to connect with anything that doesn't understand where you're going with your career, doesn't understand how to fit with Jupiter and Pluto that just did a kaboom and made you realize that everything needs to fit into the kingdom in order to really go. They have to understand the kingdom. And especially with Venus going shadow in the 11th, they have to be exciting and fun right now, or your relationship or the people that you bring in, they have to be like worldly, and they have to be somebody who understands your world and also understands the world at large. And they have to know how to be social, because there's nothing worse for a Leo than being with a partner who cannot be social. Social awkwardness partners are the worst thing for Leos. So this is where you have to actually make your test. Who is socially awkward and who isn't, Leo? Is your partner socially awkward? There's an issue. And you have till Wednesday to start to really figure out that. Because as a Leo, you have to entertain and banquet and be the one of this great kingdom that you have, queendom. But you need a royal court. Because what's the royal court? The royal court's attention to the magnificent, amazing, beautiful starlight love that you are. So this is going to be a lot of people with a full moon in Libra in your 3rd, in your environment, a Venus that's going to stay for the next 3.5 months here, 4 months in your 11th house. But I think it's important for you this week to start to determine the kind of support that actually is there for your journey, and you're there for their journey, but it makes sense of the journey you're going to together for some sort of destined cause to do something great and great service and work. Or being with somebody socially awkward that doesn't make sense and doesn't fit into the whole plan right, and then you're constantly always going out to the royal court, and then they think that you're doing wrong things, and really it's like, I'm just trying to fucking have some social energy that's not awkward. And all this eighth house stuff with Mercury, you know, like you've been investigating everything, but it feels like you're finally coming to the end of your crazy investigations. Page of Cups reversed. So maybe you feel that nothing did come your way emotionally the way that you've been wanting to. Maybe that's the issue, is you feel like things are maybe talked, but they're missing emotion. So that's something to say. You know, it's like, if you're not feeling emotion, people can talk all they want. But if emotion's not there, then you're not going to put emotion out. Leos don't do that. It's black or white, Scorpio, fourth house. So guess what? When somebody doesn't come up and speak the emotion and be like, hey, like fucking bam, 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 then you're always going to be like, rah, yeah, bam, 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 bam. But if somebody comes up like, hi, I'm here to be part of the kingdom in some way, then you're going to be, oh, well, hi, welcome to the kingdom, and da, 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 da. But when somebody gets emotional, boom, you're like, oh yeah, let's get it. So that's what you need really intensely this week, because people might think you're not getting emotional, but they're not getting emotional back. And that reason is, wow, the Strength card. So I think that, you know, for you individually, this is going to be one, the strength to communicate emotionally. But I also think that it's about looking for partners too. Are they communicating emotionally? Are they having the strength to do that? So this is going to be a test of strength on you and a partner, or you and a significant other, about the strength to really communicate the feelings and the positive energy that there is. I think there's definitely some difficulty here though, but it's going to take strength. It's going to take courage. It's going to take taming this and understanding it. The challenge of this has to be with the 10th house. Again, this has to deal with maybe not feeling like, you know, how is this world going to all come together in love and relationships? Will it fit into the world? And Leos have a lot on their plate with Uranus in the 10th house. This is their time that they've waited for 84 years to come into their greatness. So as a Leo, it's almost like maybe the challenge is like, okay, you've got your world, you've got your career, you've got your long-term goals, but it's like almost maybe feeling like nobody emotionally understands that, or nobody emotionally really knows what's the weight of that, or has the kind of strength and communication to understand that or want to be in that world, or doesn't appreciate that world too. You got the gratitude card overall. So somebody that understands it and has a lot of gratitude for the world that you're in, and even yourself, you're going to show your gratitude for, it's like somebody's coming in, or somebody finally is going to show their light. But anybody that's not going to show their light or step into their strength or step into that right now about the world that you're in and about the world and where you're going and what you're creating, that's got to be there. But the gratitude card is like it's like a soft light. It's not like this big burning, like, whoosh. It's simple, because it's just works. It just is. It gets you into a much more deeper spiritual place. And you know what, this gratitude thing, it's like, you don't need to go try and, you know, get into situations where you have to kind of like put all this extra work to fight for it when you really don't want to. If you don't really want to do something, why do it? Like, you're not going to be grateful for that relationship if you're not really wanting to put a lot of energy into it. And I think that's a big question for Leos right now. It's like, do you want to put a lot of energy into it, or just look at the light that you bring into something? You know, are you putting a lot of energy in? Why not? There's a lot about communication here. There's a lot about not feeling the emotion. If it's not getting emotional communication, then you're not going to put your strength behind it, or they're not putting their strength behind that. And are you going to fight for that and have gratitude at the end of the day? No, because nobody's going to fight for something or own the position of the high ground for something that they're not that grateful about. Spiritual advice over that world card is the 5 of Cups. So there's a lot of sorrow here, you know, and maybe it's like some things haven't worked out, or some people don't work out, and that's okay, because they're not part of the world. Remember that the 5 of Cups means that 2 of those cups, or 3 of those cups have fallen down, but there's 2 that are still full. And sometimes there's energies of people, or this one energy of person, or maybe there's a sorrow situation of nobody understanding your world, and maybe they create sorrow within yourself. But I think that you have to let go of that by realizing that there's still other stories, there's still other emotions that maybe have not been received yet or felt. So you need to do that. You need to allow that to happen. Mercury in the 3rd in Virgo. So you know what? Specifics are everything. People need to be specific with you. You need to be specific with others. You can't be dealing with, well, this could be, or this will be, or this should be. Like, you just need to get right to the exact point. Bang. And others need to get right to the point with you, because this needs to be about extreme clarity, extreme communication of the reality and how it's going to be. This is how the reality is going to be. This is what we're going to do. This is how you're going to do it. This is how I'm going to do it. This is bam, bam, bam. It has to be exact. And people have to understand that, and you have to understand that in yourself. Like, you're not going to do anything right now that is not going to fit with your world because they don't see it or they're not excited about it. Remember, Leo, you are a sun. So if they're not going to see the glory of the sun and not be specific of what they want to do with that sun and be like, hey, I want to be like the fifth planet out and I want to revolve around that. It's not so much about how Leos are like, oh, you got to come in my life and revolve around me. It's much more like it's a fair exchange of like, I will inspire or I will give you love and you will give me love back. And there is no bigger or better any energy. The sun doesn't think that way, because the sun would be dead without the planets that revolve around it, because there'd be no planets to give warmth and love to at all. So it's always a fair exchange in life. And I think that's what you're looking for truly here, but it has to be specific. And communication's everything about emotion. So when you get to the specifics, it's based off an emotion that then creates the reality with that Page of Cups reversed. And don't fight for something that you wouldn't be grateful for, because you'd be really unhappy and very sorrowful and you wouldn't get the world that you want. So you got to aim for the specific and the strength. And the 10th house challenge is trying to find somebody who wants to either be famous or wants to be on the big stage. And I think that you have a lot of sorrow because nobody knows how to step up to that plate as much as you. Well,
the story is not over, Leo.
Never is over. Another day to fight again, as any zodiac sign out there in the universe, for love. But you don't have to fight for love. You just have to just show up for love fully. And I think we're in a world that, honestly, at this point, you have nothing else to lose except missing out now. There's more about missing out than there is about having. It's becoming more restricted every second we're talking of the ability for love to happen by this outside world. So don't be afraid of love. Don't be afraid to go towards love. And after 8 years this week of doing this every day, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And thanks for being a part of High Vibe. We are tomorrow on Tuesday, if you're watching this whenever, doing spiritual dance music and deep astrology. So
can we call it disco distancing?
Disco distancing? I don't know if I'm just going to say, like, let's get down.
All right, I'm going to call it disco distancing.
And it's going to be a full moon in Libra. Don't fuck this one up, kids, with Venus going into shadow. I know that some of you all are new to astrology and don't know what Venus shadow is, but just look at your life from April, pretty much now, April, the first week of April, because it was on April 11th that Venus went shadow in 2012. Venus goes shadow on April 9th this year of 2020 in the same spot that it did in 2012. What events started triggering from April 11th till you got to the end of June of 2012? You need to start paying attention to this. And this full moon in Libra is no joke. And we got a lot more in the astrology coming this week too that'll blow your mind. Mars square Uranus, and more importantly, a lot of moon Scorpio stuff, square Mars and Saturn. I mean, I talk about this all on highvibe.tv, especially for your own sun signs. And you can go to highvibe.tv, any of our apps. So go to highvibe.tv, join, and then just download any of these apps. Our Apple TV app is bomb. If you have Apple TV, all new TVs, especially if you have a new LG or whatever, they're all Apple TVs built into it. Our iOS app is amazing. Our Android app is amazing. Our Roku app's awesome. I haven't played with it much, but it's really nice. And then Amazon Fire TV. So, or just go to highvibe.tv on any device and Chromecast it, or even watch it on your phone or whatever. Like, you don't have to download an app if you don't like downloading apps. You have total control of your account too. You want to sign up for a month and then peace out? You can do that. There's a 7-day free trial. You got nothing to lose. We're there for you every day. Love you very much. Thank you so much. Spread this video. What do you have to say, Craig? Any last words?
Yeah, just to keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward. Don't forget the love for yourself. Don't forget the love for others also. Very important. Maybe go learn a new recipe. I think that'd be my tip. Go learn a new recipe for the week. And going to be unveiling a potential new stage tomorrow on that disco distancing spiritual dance music.
We are revealing a new stage.
We are revealing a new stage.
We have a lot of new stages being revealed.
So it'll be fun.
Over the
Be
next
Fog
couple
City
weeks.
up in this biatch. Get with it. Love you all. Thank you.
Love you all. Spread this out. Thanks so much. Peace out. Love you all. Don't be afraid of love, no matter what the world is doing. Go watch my pre-2020 video on highvibe.tv if you want your mind blown that I called all this shit out when we put that out in September. Exactly. It'll blow your mind. Love you.